And then she set that fire in somebody's driveway.
Yeah, and then she
that was her
tattooing her face.
Yeah.
And she just, like I've said many times, she just started to get this vacant look about her.
Right.
And, she was just this bubbly, fun, great personality. And then all of a sudden it just went, whew.
I would say she is a different person now, but a together person.
I hope so.
So she's become something other, but stable, and that's a win.
She just always seemed so likable and
funny.
And I feel terrible that she had a mental, switch.
It's like the switch you had when you found out Sydney White was Snow White.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I probably watched that movie like twice, and then I finally realized, it's a riff on Snow White.
I had one yesterday.
What?
There's a line in the Smash Mouth song, and he was looking kind of dumb with his finger and his thumb and the shape of the L on his forehead.
On her forehead.
On her forehead? All right. I'd never realized that, he was doing the L.
You didn't
No.
The loser thing on your forehead? That's funny.
I'm on the back porch, and I'm like, he was doing
great.
the loser thing. Oh.
Was the song on, or were you just thinking about
I was just singing the lyrics.
Okay.
I need to call him up. Who is this?
You guys are cute. This happens to me every day. I'm like, another one.
God, do you remember doing that, though? That was a big part of the thing.
Loser.
I still think that's pretty fun.
Well, you're looking kind of dumb.
I know.
Except I always forget which hand to use.
It's your right hand. I know. I made it a point to always remember.
All right.
So she continued in her statement saying, I'm excited about my upcoming endeavors, including my fragrance line, and look forward to sharing more when I can. The Endabine's conservatorship was supported by her parents. Her attorney, Tamar Armanak, said, both mother and daughter I know are happy to restart a relationship. That doesn't include the conservatorship. And focus on the endless possibilities available to Amanda now that the conservatorship is over.
Listen to enough rap music, and there are so many double entendres that are just kind of, believe it or not, they are, wow, that was actually pretty
clever.
Clever,
yes. Yep. Anne Boleyn actress Jodie Turner-Smith posted some steamy pictures to Instagram on Monday alongside her husband, Dawson's Creek star Joshua Jackson. In the slideshow, Turner-Smith can be seen posing nude on a balcony at the Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills, before the Critics' Choice Awards, wearing nothing but a Bulgari silver headpiece. Turner-Smith let the fresh air fully embrace her body. In a couple of the photos, Jackson stands behind her, already decked out in his tuxedo. Together, they created some saucy stills.
Is she, in fact, she's the one who plays Anne Boleyn, right?
She is.
Yeah.
Saucy stills.
Saucy stills. That's snazzy. She captioned the post, the cat that got the cream.
What?
And Jackson commented saying, you're talking about me, right? I'm the cat that got the cream because, wow. So there you go. They had a moment.
Knock it out.
So it seems that the Scooby-Doo gang looked a little different behind the scenes. From a new book titled Into Every Generation a Slayer is Born, How Buffy Staked Our Hearts, Sarah Michelle Gellar opened up to Evan Ross Katz about her time on the show. And she had said, I think that unfortunately the set we were on and the world we were in was pitting us against each other. I think it would have been different if it was today. It would have been a very different relationship, but we have a great relationship now. So other co-stars have commented on the unfavorable work environment that Joss Whedon had created. In 2021, Charisma Carpenter said Joss has a history of being casually cruel. He's created hostile and toxic work environments since his early career. I know because I experienced it firsthand. Repeatedly, he was mean and biting, disparaging about others openly, and often played favorites, pitting people against one another to compete and vie for his attention and approval.
This was said often, and Eliza Dushku said the same thing on that show, Dollhouse, which was a Joss Whedon series.
Rumors about the cast feuding have circulated for years. Gellar said, look, we worked really hard hours. We were young. We had ups and downs. Everybody had arguments. There were times when David Boreanaz could be a handful. He never really was to me, but I'm sure he was. And I'm sure I was the same way to people also, right? It wasn't rosy. Nobody gets along all the time. And Allison and I had moments. There's no question, but you're young, she said. Now, they're talking about a reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so who would be cast in that project? Sarah Michelle Gellar, in an interview, said that she knows who she would pick. She said, I vote Zendaya
to
be the next
That's a
Buffy.
perfect choice.
Yeah. Buffy and Angel co-star Julie Benz, who played the vampire Darla on both series, agreed with the casting, calling the choice amazing. Writer Monica Owusu-Breen, who was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., was tapped to way back in the summer of 2018 to lead a new incarnation of Buffy, which was announced as an inclusive new take on the story that would feature an actress of color in the leading role.
I loved the series.
Yeah, you were a big fan of that.
I loved it, and I loved the video game that they did, the first video game they did out of the gate. And I loved Angel. The whole universe was really wonderful.
Though initial reports dubbed the series a reboot of the original concept itself, a reboot of a more comedic feature when the film, with Christy Swanson as Buffy. Owusu-Breen eventually shifted that narrative, noting that she could never replace the original characters. Instead, she suggested it might be time to meet a new Slayer. So we'll see if they can move forward on that. Well, after much shock and outrage over West Side Story star Rachel Zegler not being invited to this year's Oscars, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences reportedly slipped her an invitation.
I'm busy.
I don't really have any other info on that. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she has now been invited to be a presenter at the award show. So not just invited.
Nah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like one of those McDowell visits where you end up parking cars at the party.
Right. So, yeah, they say that she has been invited, and we'll wait to see the details on that, because she had, through a Twitter thread, she had said essentially she wasn't invited, even though she's in a movie that's up for tons of awards.
I wonder how many times, I mean, there are a lot of movies. Obviously, you have, is it still 9 Best Picture nominations?
10.
10 now?
Yeah.
So all those people, a lot of people do invite, and but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she was 4th tier. She's the star of the freaking movie.
Yes.
And it's a big theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plenty
it
of
is.
seats.
Yeah. Oh, they can get folding chairs.
Yeah.
All right. Tom Hanks is cementing his reputation as one of the nicest and most down-to-earth stars by reportedly making time for some residents in Pittsburgh. Hanks is in town filming a movie called A Man Called Otto, and he is being seen out and about around the city. Photographer Grace Rowland told the publication that she, bride Grace Guantley, and her bridesmaids were leaving the Fairmount, Pittsburgh on Saturday when Hanks decided to join the party. Rowland said, "So we're all walking from the hotel to the limo, and out of nowhere, he pops up and says, 'Hey, my name is Tom Hanks. Can I take a photo with the bride?'" She said, "We all started screaming, and we were pretty much in shock." And this isn't the first time that the wedding party that Hanks has crashed. Brides in California and New York have happily obliged when the star has asked to take a picture with them on their big day. She said that Hanks posed for some photos with the bridal party and his wife, Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson.
Yes.
Oh, my God, they're such a wonderful couple.
Yes, I knew you'd be back.
Preston Tom likes to crash those wedding photos.
Yes.
That's the kind of guy he is.
And Rita
He'll
just
jump right in.
And Rita was okay with it, too.
Absolutely. She's a sweetheart. She makes a hell of a couscous.
She jumped in with some of the pics for them as well. Ashley.
God, I've never got the chance to have a threesome with those two.
No?
No,
Yeah.
that's
And
wild.
you know what? I'll tell you what I'd do. And a lot of people would be surprised to hear this. I'd focus my attentions on Tom.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Rita would be sloppy seconds.
Oh,
in that.
I mean,
you're a giver.
He's such a thespian.
You're very generous,
I
Regis.
absolutely, with my mouth and my lower regions.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
I give willingly of my esophagus.
you did work the camera for Hulk Hogan.
What's that?
Right? You worked the camera for Hulk.
Absolutely. That was a tough one, though, because he's got a unit like a carport.
You give your esophagus willingly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No gag reflex.
All right.
I picked that up after working with Kathy Lee for years.
Oh, wow.
I had to fight the urge to gag every goddamn morning.
You okay with using your hands, too?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
I'll use other people's hands, too, if necessary.
Okay.
Here, hold this.
Ashley Glass.
I got to use my mouth.
Ashley Glass and her 2-year-old son Charles got to meet Hanks as he was filming near their home. Hanks spotted her with the youngster watching and walked over to chat with them. She said, "I hurried up and got my phone. He came over and was talking to us, and I was starstruck. I didn't even know what to say." So he continues to just be a nice...
You know what's interesting to find out?
What's
That's
that,
Preston,
Regis?
that there is a Fairmont in Pittsburgh. I didn't know that. I know, Nick,
really?
you're a fan of those.
Yeah, they're great hotels.
They're wonderful hotels.
They're comfortable.
And I didn't realize that might be a reason to head back over to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice thread count.
They have a concierge floor that's a lot of fun. You get soft drinks and coffee anytime, day and night.
Wow, so it's complimentary?
Yeah,
with
it's
your
like on
stay?
the 3rd floor. It's
That's
a
beautiful.
discreetly hidden product.
There's that one region, the Canadian Rockies. I don't know if you've seen that picture.
Yes, I want to go to that one. out in the rural area, it's just completely rustic and bucolic, and other words that mean doors.
Hey, aren't you dead?
Yes, I am. I've been dead for quite a while, and I'm stinking up a storm.
Shouldn't we hear you from heaven? As
No, I come down every once in a while.
Oh, you actually do?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. I'm actually possessing Kathy right now.
All right. Page 6 reports on Tuesday, a week after the Vanderpump Rules star announced that they were going separate ways, Katie Maloney filed for divorce from Tom Schwartz. Maloney and Schwartz were together for 12 years.
You know Katie Maloney.
He doesn't stand for baloney.
And each shared their own statement about the breakup on Instagram last week.
So I had my exposure to, I guess Lisa Vanderpump is her name, and she was on that dog show that.
Oh yeah, with Rebel Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah.
She was one of the judges. And it just
I only bring
annoying.
up these stories because isn't there a tie to Cavallari, or is that something totally different?
That's
Totally
different.
different.
But
You're-
no, but bring it up because the Vanderpump Rules has been a long-standing hit, one of the earlier reality shows. And I think
right.
Vanderpump Rules was an offshoot of one of the Housewives shows.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's all incestuous.
Now I feel bad about reporting it.
Yes, you're right, Steve. It was Housewives of Beverly Hills, and that's where you got Lisa.
Ooh, okay.
You know, she's such a pig.
Us.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Rage.
I can say that. I'm dead.
Yeah.
So sue me. See you in heaven.
Us Weekly reports that former Bachelorette star Caitlin Bristow said that she will be sad to not be hosting the next season of The Bachelorette. On her Off the Vine podcast recently, she said,
Why are you so sad, Caitlin?
I want to support Gabby and Rachel and be there for them so bad.
She's the one with the Letterman gap between her teeth, right? Is that her?
I don't know.
Okay.
She said, I think it makes sense to have a woman being there for them. I will be sad.
Sad.
How so sad. However, she added that it was a blessing in disguise, saying that she wants to prioritize being at home with Jason and the dogs
Oh, no, different one. Okay.
and start planning my wedding and catch up on my business.
I'm sorry, who's Jason?
Who are the dogs?
I don't know.
Jason and the dogs.
Jason Tardik.
Okay.
All right, so hang on. She talks about it like the beginning of that sentence sounds as if she is a mother, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so she's like, I just want to be at home and prioritize my time with. There's no children involved. There's just a couple of dogs,
Husband and the dogs.
and the dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, she wants to catch up on her wedding and she wants to plan her wedding and catch up on her business.
Okay.
Too.
And she likes ketchup.
Let's see. Yesterday, Jennifer Aniston posted to Instagram in celebration of Reese Witherspoon's birthday, along with a photo of the two actresses on an episode of Friends. Aniston wrote, "It's somebody's birthday today. My little sister, co-anchor partner in crime. I love you, you sweet ray of sunshine. Let the love pour in, and happy birthday." So they love each other.
They love each other.
For those of you who watch the morning show, do their characters like each other?
No.
No, they work together.
Okay.
So, according to E! News, Heroes actress Hayden Panettiere posted on Instagram on Tuesday in memory of Chelsea Lately comedian Donnie Davis, who passed away last month at the age of 43. She said, "You never know how long you have with the people you love. My little big brother was there for me through everything. I miss you, Donnie Davis." I didn't know that I wasn't familiar.
No, neither am I.
No.
But I guess they must have been very, very close for her to post that.
It's interesting for Hayden Panettiere, too, because her ex-husband is Klitschko,
Right. Yeah.
who's the mayor, I think, of Kyiv. And
Yes.
so he's like, and he and his brother are literally like fighting on the front lines right now.
Yeah.
If you're going to get two dudes to fight, those are the dudes to get.
Yeah, and they have a child together. So,
Yeah.
the father of her child is now in sort of the center of this Russian
Yeah.
war. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about her being vocal about it,
Right.
but that doesn't mean she's not. So, yeah, I'm curious.
She's over there as a sniper, Preston.
I had no idea. She was a superhero at one point on the
Absolutely.
show. So
that
she's
show
good.
crapped.
Entertainment Tonight reports that the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, will return for its second season.
Who's watching it? You guys, anybody?
I have no
Marissa.
interest.
Marissa?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
Marissa's watching it.
What do you think, Marissa, up for a second season?
It's good. Like, it very much could have ended at the end, and I was prepared for it to be over.
It
and-
seems like that was the original intent, and then it kind of did okay, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was prepared for only one season and no more. But it'll be good. They left it on a cliffhanger that they can follow up on.
All right.
Executive producer Michael Patrick King said in a statement, "I'm delighted and excited to tell more stories about these vibrant, bold characters played by these powerful, amazing actors. The fact is, we're all thrilled, and just like that, our sex life is back," he said. Interesting story. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is set to star in a series about late-night TV legend Johnny Carson. According to a report by Deadline, Gordon-Levitt will play Carson in an extended biopic of his life and career. That is, if the show gets picked up somewhere. The project is called King of Late Night, and it is written by Deadwood creator David Milch. It will follow Carson's career from New York City to Los Angeles to Las Vegas, tracing his rise to fame and his trailblazing performances along the way. And the show may also enlighten some fans about the, quote, more colorful aspects of Carson's personal life.
Carson did have colorful aspects.
And how those clashed with his on-screen obligations. Yeah, there was a time where one of his ex-wives claims that he was stalking her and breaking into her apartment.
Oh, that's in the book written by his longtime lawyer and friend and confidant, and the name escapes me. Nick, you read the book
I
as
did,
well.
and
I keep thinking Baba Ganoush, but that's not it. Something like
Bushkin.
that. Bushkin.
Henry
yes.
Bushkin, yeah.
Right.
That was
There's Boltar, you said Baba Ganoush.
Man, that was
calls our wolf.
Fascinating book, Steve, because they went into his childhood and his marriages.
And they did the break-ins.
Yeah.
They did the break-ins, and he was stalking early on in his career when he was just on, like, local access. I think it might have been Vegas or in L.A., he would joke about Red Skelton. He was a big Red Skelton fan, the famous comedian and performer. It was huge at that time. Red Skelton thought it was so amusing that for like a week, he came down and on this little, like, Uncle Floyd kind of show and would sit there with, like, tape over his mouth. And the joke would be, he's my guest, but he never lets him talk. And so Skelton did this whole thing for him, like this massive gift that put him really on the map.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, like at superstar level at that point.
The series has reportedly been in development for about 5 years, and it just hit the marketplace. There's no word yet on whether any major outlets or streaming service will be bidding on the show or not. So we will have to see. But that could be a really interesting.
Could be a real
story.
hoot.
It could be, yes. Let me see here. What else I have here for you? According to the Hollywood Reporter, Dolly Parton, Reese Witherspoon, and James Patterson are teaming up for a feature film adaptation of Run, Rose, Run. The book, written by Parton and Patterson, is about a young woman who moves to Nashville to pursue her dreams as a musician. And it was released on March 7th and reached #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. So she wrote it.
I think she wrote an album of music that is inspired by a character in the movie. So there is a companion album that goes with the book.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
She can sit down and crap out a song.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And she could, piss out melodies and fart out, quatrains.
Yep, quatrains.
Right.
Well, they're kind of rhythmic and rhyme, and I could see that.
talent.
It goes along with that, yes. All right. One last story. According to TV Line, Christina Ricci is returning to the Addams Family franchise. She will be joining Netflix's Wednesday as a series regular. She will not be returning to the role of Wednesday. However, she will be playing a whole new character instead.
I'm very interested to see what this show is. I think it's going to have obviously, the original material is darker in a funny way. I think this is going to be a little bit of humor, but darker. Unless I'm misreading this.
I wonder, Steve, because your encyclopedic knowledge of obscure actors, do you know the girl's name who played the original
Lisa
Wednesday?
Loring.
Lisa Loring. Does she still act?
No, she was on a daytime soap opera. She got involved with a porn star.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, and had a bad run with. I don't.
Because it would be great to see her have some kind of a
She
cameo.
probably could.
You
I mean,
know?
she's alive.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
that'd
so
be
she was
fun.
on, I think, As the World Turns. She played a character called Cricket, Preston. So I used to watch The Guiding Light, which had the women that I thought was hot. My elementary school years, I thought these women were hot, on Guiding Light. So that's how I got into that soap opera. And then she was on the one before that. And she was a pretty woman.
Dude, I remember a character from one of the soaps we used to watch called Cricket who was really hot. Was she a blonde? Because that might have been All My
darker hair.
Children.
It's possible.
Maybe there was a different Cricket.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a young teenager going, I like that.
Yeah, well, it might have been.
I'll have to look that
I
up.
had a babysitter named Cricket.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. And then she got that nickname because when she was a baby, she rubbed her legs together like a cricket. And so that was her nickname. Her real name was Erica, but everybody knew her as Cricket.
There was a hot girl that went to our school named Cricket. Stunning.
Cricket is a more common name than I guess.
Yeah.
I just assumed that was like a one-off.
Hot character on It's Always Sunny named Cricket.
Cricket is the real
Messed
street former clergyman who's just descended into madness. Who gives sexual favors to dogs.
Oh my God!
I mean, he's that.
Wow. Okay. All kinds of crickets out there.
He had a tracheotomy, and a dog had its way with the tracheotomy.
All right. Well, we are ready for clips. Let's get to them.
Okay, here's the deal.
Mystery clips. What?
I'm holding. I think these clips we could do are
These are
gettable.
gettable?
All right,
All
and
right.
that's why I want to do
Let's
mystery
do
clips today.
Casey's got the clips, so you can reveal. You can read the little
right.
info thingy. All right. So remember, raise your hand if you know who it is.
And I will pick the first hand I see. It goes up.
All right.
All right. Here's the mystery clip. Clip number 1.
They're just it's so high tech and so ludicrous, a ridiculous recipe that they bring in. But of course, it's nothing but fun to see the seriousness with which Tina Fey and Robert Carlock approach that team of high tech, Silicon Valley guys and girls.
Who was first? Was
I'm
it
going to
Nick?
give. I think it was Nick, but I'm going to give it to you because you're the host of the show.
No. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, go ahead.
It's
Holly
easy.
Hunter,
Holly
Mr.
Hunter.
Mayor.
Oh my God! You even got the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Holly Hunter, Mr. Mayor. New episodes of Mr. Mayor are gonna air Tuesday nights on NBC.
I watched it last night.
Is it good?
It's a funny show. And
Okay.
her dynamic with Ted Danson is really good.
You can't go wrong. You know where she's really good, and she is not. She's so much. She's great in. But in Batman v Superman, it's really good.
Have they worked together before, her and Ted Danson?
I don't know.
Okay. They seem like a good pair.
Yeah.
All right. Next clip. And raise your hand when we know the answer. It's Mystery Clip Morning. Here we go.
If it can make people kind of, smile a little bit, I might scare the living out of people if I showed up as Morbius here. But yeah, that is fun. And I do think that once you see people dressing up as that character's Halloween, you kind of know you hit a nerve.
Kathy.
No.
That's a gimme. Jared Leto.
Yep.
Jared Leto, Morbius. Yeah, so Morbius is going to be in theaters on April 1st.
I am looking forward to this.
Me too.
I did like the character. I didn't do a deep dive on the character, but we'll see how this goes.
All right.
He's a solid actor.
And that's April 1st?
That is April 1st. And he is Kath, you like or dislike Anne Hathaway?
Oh,
She
yeah,
does
no,
not like
I
Anne
couldn't
Hathaway.
stand her.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan either, but he and her are in a show on Apple Plus right now.
It looks good.
And I watched the first episode. He's a great actor. He's
He
a
is.
really, really
And
good
this is
actor.
kind of like, it's sort of like a culty business lead.
Yeah, I think it's a true
based on a true
story.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's Entertainment Report. We need to take a break. Don't forget, we have a secret text word chance for you to win WWE 2K22, and that is available on Xbox One, Xbox X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, rated T for teen. Text word secret to 39333. You might win before the show is up. A couple of ways to win. Tom Papa will be on our program, as well as some other guests. We'll tell you about more when we get back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
Glad you asked. A new song called Happy Days.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, the track follows Blame It On My Youth and Generational Divide is the third offering from the trio's new LP, which is tentatively titled Bajmir. Somebody wrote, they texted this, and it says their album is Rim Job Backwards. I thought that was the name of Rim Job Backwards was the name of the album. No, Bajmir is Rim Job spelled backwards.
Oh, what? There we go. Thank you. We would not have known that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bajmir. Or you can name an album Rim Job Backwards.
Would it sound that way if you took
I doubt it.
reversed it? I don't think it would.
Yeah, let's
you
all
wanna
say
try it?
Yes.
We could.
Yes.
So just say clearly, say rim job.
Can you record it and
Yeah.
play backwards or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right.
Okay,
Let's,
so Casey will
this.
record that.
All right.
Reverse it, and we'll see what that sounds like. All right, okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir. There's a little in there, but Bajmir. Now let me say that forward.
Let's see if it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Bajmir.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that. If it comes back as
Try that. Go here and
frame job.
We're scientists.
Frame job. Do it again.
Do it again. You can even do it better.
Frame job. Frame job.
We are ready to transmit.
Kashmir. Him job.
The aliens are about to transmit a message. Rimjar.
Play it again, Casey. Frame job.
You really got that in there.
I love our
And now the envoy from Neptune is about to speak.
frame job.
Rim job.
Frame job.
Rim job.
It's
like you've just met in the jungle. Rim job.
Frame job.
That's my favorite one.
Rim job.
It's a
Frame
greeting.
job.
Rim job. You like rim job.
Frame.
Rim job.
Frame.
Why did that?
I don't know why it's stopping.
Me? Neither.
Frame job.
Rouge job. You tongue to cream butthole.
At the end, I go, frame job.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Frame
enough
job.
That's the natural gagging.
Frame job. Job. Someone wants to point out that we've won awards.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
I know.
True.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't rescind them.
Yeah.
What?
Do you get the spicy chicken at the Chick-fil-A, or do you just get the regular chicken?
I have gotten the spicy before.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like there.
Oh, dear God. I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
Are you coming out right now?
I'm coming out.
I mean, Pride Month ended
Mom,
yesterday.
can we
Did it end
talk?
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
June.
June.
All right, anyway,
Okay,
I was
what-
just joking.
I'm
Go
a
ahead.
spicy chicken guy. Oh, no.
But I just wanted to let this be known that Wendy's has,
Well, I'll always love you.
has the spicy chicken nuggets are back. So
That was, yes, I
yeah.
did see that announcement they made. So you wanted to get the word out?
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know it's usually like $6 for a buck.
Yeah.
I heard.
This morning on the Preston and Steve Show, Casey Boy reveals something concerning fast food and an extended offer. We go now to Jim Iglesiewski outside of the Pentagon. Jim, did Casey in fact confirm there was an extended offer? That's correct, Tom. Thank you, Jim.
That's all you had to say. Yes, it's correct. It's confirmed.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like
Just a spicy chicken guy. Spicy chicken guy. Oh no! Dear God, I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know.
Okay, so I want to talk about the movies that are opening this weekend. Where'd Casey go?
Do you think he had to make a boom boom?
I'm not really sure. There's a lot of things that are off about him today, so...
Is it even Casey?
It might not be Casey. Did we check?
Maybe it's
No,
the hair.
we usually take a urine specimen every morning.
So we usually have a little song that we play. Marissa, I don't know if you can find that or not. It's the 20th Century Fox with the recorder.
Yeah.
Maybe it's under... I don't know what it's even labeled
I'll
under.
admit this. I'm a little scared.
We have kazoos.
You could do that, Kath.
You're a master of it, Kathy. Play it. Play it for us.
I got mine, Kath.
All right, I have my
Do you know how it goes?
Yeah.
All
right.
I'll give you the...
Okay, ready?
Wait, hum it for me. Yeah. Okay.
Ray, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You were way better than me.
Thank you. I went for it.
That was sensational.
little lightheaded.
You know what I realized?
You have a
I have a
recorder.
recorder right here.
You want to do it again?
You okay?
I'm better.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't feel good, guys.
Right over here is Jason Kelsey. How you doing so far? You enjoying the off season?
Yeah, it's good. You know, we just started up again about 2 weeks ago. This week was the first week on the field with the coaches. So, we're kind of back at it.
Kind of seems like there's really not any sort of real off season these days. The way the nature of the beast is that you just keep at it.
Yeah, especially when you're playing playoff games and stuff like that, it shortens down. We're probably 7 months out of the year working, but that's pretty intensive work for 7 months. But
Jason, is it a case of and is it sort of better that way because you gotta do more getting up to speed?
Yeah,
if you take too much time off, and if you kind of sort of keep at it, you're always just to take off, fighting weight, basically?
Yeah, I think most guys lift year-round pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll take a few weeks off here or there, go on vacation, whatnot, but most guys are always staying in shape. This time of the year is especially important for all the new free agents that we got in, all the guys that are trying to learn the terminology, the new playbooks.
Well, your brother's like one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
He does a great commercial, by the way.
He's tackling an eagle in that commercial, or have we talked about this yet?
He's dancing in the commercials, the commercial that I'm talking about, where he's sort of fantasizing and he's doing like an end zone dance, and then you realize that he's like standing in the middle of a store or whatever. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because you guys are both at the top of your games and the top of your positions, who's the actual better athlete?
Oh, Travis is not even close.
Oh, really?
Not even close. You got to call him as you see him. Yeah. Honestly, he's living it out in fantasy, and you're doing it.
Yeah. No, he's a special athlete, and he always has been. Even no matter what it was, basketball, baseball, he just had a knack for sports. I think that I've always been big, fast, and strong, but the type of athlete he is, how fluid he is, the way he moves, his ability to change direction and things like that, and spatial awareness. He's a tremendous athlete.
Jason, you and Nick share something in common. You guys have both climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
You climbed Mount Kili?
I did. Yeah, I did it for charity as well. The organization you guys did it with was Chris Long and Bo Allen. And the Water Boys is a fantastic organization. And, when I did it, I thought I never want to do it again. Because
same here.
Yeah, it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. But now it's been several years, and I want to do it again. And part of the reason why I want to do it again is because of the work you guys have done for such a great organization. And I love philanthropic climbs at all. And to do it and make it that challenging is really impressive. Tell me your impressions of the climb itself.
Same as you.
Yeah.
The moment I started going up that last night, about halfway through, I was like, what in the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
You're in the pitch black. You're going. What route did you go up?
We did Umbwe.
Umbwe?
Yeah.
We did Rongai, which is the only one from like the north side.
Yes.
It's the shortest, but I think...
Is it steeper?
I think it's at the top. It's a little bit steeper.
Because everyone says like Nick was saying, that basically, as climbs go, it's a gradual, but there was one route that at the end, that's probably what you did, that it becomes a lot steeper.
The summit is the hardest part of the climb.
Exactly.
And you're already tapped out because you've done a climb for several days in a row, and then it becomes the steepest part at the highest elevation.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
I don't know if it's any steeper, I shouldn't say that, but you do have to, once you get to the top, you don't go right to the peak, so you have to like walk around to the other side of the peak, which is a little bit more of like another 2 hours once you're already at the top, which is kind of like, why in the heck am I?
Are you walking?
I should already be here.
Is that so you summit like at daybreak?
So you get up at midnight the night before. That's what we did on this route. You have a headlamp on. It's the blackest of black you've ever seen. I mean, there's not a light
on a mountain.
Yeah, and you just start making your ascent. And at this point, it's a little bit too steep for guys like me to go straight up. I mean, the porters and guys who do this, I mean, there's nothing to them. They're walking up and down like it's just another day of work.
Bastards.
For us, we go like kind of like sideways in these skipbacks, and it took us 7.5 hours to get to Gilman's Point, which was the top of the Rongai route, and then we had to walk another 2.5 hours to the peak. So I got to the peak around 10 a.m.
Who else climbed with you guys?
So it was me, Chris, Bo, and Haloti Nada were the 4 guys that have played with the Eagles.
And Haloti?
They said Haloti and Bo were the 2 heaviest guys that they've ever seen climb the mountain.
And he announced his retirement from at the peak, at the summit.
After the climb, the mountain is now 16,000 feet.
As we're sitting here talking to you, the texts are coming in, and I wanted to find out what you hear most. Do you hear... hungry dogs, what is it? Hungry dogs run faster?
Yeah.
Okay. Or if I don't eat breakfast, I'm pissed off.
Yep.
Or from that speech, there were several highlights. Do people just yell those out to you sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Which one do you hear most?
I was actually surprised nobody this morning asked if I ate breakfast and if I was sad or not.
You've heard it enough,
yeah,
man.
Thank you.
You know,
I probably hear hungry dogs. I probably hear hungry dogs run faster than those. And that's not just from. I mean, that's still a mantra of Jeff Stoutland. I mean, he was just.
I mentioned this yesterday. I want to mention again because I watched the video last night, and I don't know why. I just couldn't stop laughing. But the Daily Rush video of Paul McCartney is pissed. It's just, Steve, you were killing me. Just the idea of Paul losing it and just getting so mad on stage was cracking me up. The description says, Robert Plant borrowed Paul McCartney's bass and broke it. Paul is not dead, but Robert is about to be. So you can follow us on Instagram for a first look at the Daily Rush video, sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. Learn more at Xfinity.com. And also a new addition to the MMR Rock Shop. So from time to time, we'll throw in these bits of apparel that are just kind of spur of the moment things. We had the Carpe Banana T-shirt that I've actually seen people wearing.
Yes, yeah.
And I love that. I need to get a Carpe Banana shirt. But now we have the new I Got Scared Because Dracula T-shirt.
Excellent.
That is now available. It's actually I Got Scared Cause Dracula. And you can visit the MMR Rock Shop at WMMR.com, and you can get yours today. It's a black T-shirt in some scary-looking font with a silhouette of Dracula himself, and the word Dracula is in blood red and dripping.
It looks great.
I Got Scared Because Dracula. So that is now available, and it's one of those things where if you wear it and another Preston and Steve fan sees it, they'll be like, yeah, you're in the club. And you, yep.
All right, I have to ask. So it says 100% combined and ring-spun cotton. Do we have the tri-blend option?
I don't think these give you a shirt option, but they give you, all right, color and size.
They tend to be pretty good, though.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, I'm going to keep pulling for that tri-blend, man.
Yes,
because that's definitely
the best.
The most comfortable shirt as far as these types that you can get, we think. All right, so I think that it's time to expand our minds and head to the Just Saying Institute because the scientists worked very, very hard at compiling this information.
The Just Saying Institute, home of the Regis Philbin Oral Sex Research Center and Couscous Food Court.
All right. Oh, you can
go to
visit
first?
both of those in the same day. I got to go by the Oral Sex Research Facility first. So I thought this was pretty interesting. We all have multiple social identities.
Yes, I believe this 100%.
Yeah, for example, employee, parent, friend, or even a fan of a particular sports team.
Yeah, there's I studied this in college, believe it or not. As a role theory was what I had studied, where like wherever you go, you play these different roles in your life, and that is what So right here, I'm a different person. I'm playing a different role than I am when I'm at home.
It's a natural thing. You when you're with, if you were with people who were your golf buddies, you would be a different. It's not like you have lycanthropy and you're going to alter your genetics. It's you're going to adapt and become slightly different to each group.
And in fact, this study that was done by University of Exeter researchers found that switching between these identities is effortless. It's it's not much. You don't really have to think about it.
Or do you turn around like an impressionist? And go,
right. And you roll in and out of them. Researchers Anna Zinn said, we were surprised to find that these switches are extremely effective. People can switch quite rapidly with no apparent difficulty. We might have little control over these switches. For someone working from home, it may be important to stay in a professional identity, but our findings suggest that you could easily be drawn away from it. The next stage of our research is to examine these possible drawbacks and whether steps such as having a dedicated workspace at home can limit them.
Well, because the base of who you are, your base personality doesn't change.
No, not at all. But I mean, you clear so those who work in hospitality or something like that, they clearly have to take on a bit of a role or a different personality than I think that they normally are. They might be a really nice person,
right?
But they have to kind of amplify that a bit,
right? Maybe the word that comes to mind is more maternal, or more. You're looking, you're taking care of something or people,
right? Or they might be the complete opposite of what they are, portraying themselves to be.
Well, and they also mentioned, fan of a particular sports team, and so there are people, there are crazy fans that can turn into a wholly, completely different psychotic person over a fan thing that can happen.
Do you find? I find that this is a dynamic that I sometimes I try to read about myself, which is if we're at a gathering, I'm like in my mind, do people want me to do funny stuff? Because I can do that if they want me to be the life of the party, or do I annoy them? Like, in other words, I want to be what people would like me to be, and be myself as well. But if they're looking forward to something, I want to accommodate. And sometimes I kind of find myself going, because I can go, I can go off the deep end as far as not stop joking.
Right.
And I think I would find that annoying. So I have that issue. Which Steve am I going to be at this gathering?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I haven't really had time to sit down and think about my various personalities. Well, I'm the connoisseur, I'm the historian, I'm the stream of consciousness and the noticer.
Mr. Devereaux.
Mr. Devereaux.
But all that is under the umbrella of Preston Elliott.
That is. It is.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I would assume that I have, I have a different mindset that I go into, and kind of my personality will not be exactly the same as what it is when I'm sitting in this chair, maybe.
When you're explaining like what we do on air, I always say, and I think we fall pretty well within the realm of who we are all the time, about 15%.
Yeah, you amplify things
but
just a little bit.
We're pretty close to what we are, you know, and that's what you endeavor to achieve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. But our movement between these personalities apparently is pretty effortless and seamless. Like you don't have to
It's like you could turn on a dime.
It's kind of like that. Thank you, Regis. Exactly. Which means I'm going to switch stories now. So we're going to do that now. So a new diagnosis has been added to the latest edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Now, that is a catalog of psychological conditions that is used widely by clinicians.
I order from it all the time, and I never get them delivered.
Well, this is what they use to diagnose patients.
Okay.
It is the standard classification of mental disorders. So they've added a new distinction, a new diagnosis, which is interesting. And the new condition is called prolonged grief disorder.
Huh.
Okay. That's heavy.
Prolonged grief disorder.
So essentially, if you just can't get over this grief that you have, then you may have this condition. So it's characterized by incapacitating feelings of grief. Prolonged grief disorder happens when a person loses someone close to them within at least 6 months for children and adolescents, or within 12 months for adults. So if a loss is still crippling you after a year, is what it sounds like to me, then you may have this prolonged grief disorder.
I was just thinking about this because I was watching a clip of Michelle Williams from the movie Manchester by the Sea.
Yep.
And that is about the inability to process grief and to get past it.
Right.
I've known people who have and your heart goes out to them because they can't get past stuff like that.
Sure.
And it's like, what do you do?
Yeah. So not to really bring the room down quite a bit, but my stepmother, she lost her son to testicular cancer when he was like 22 years old or something like that. And it came on suddenly, like a week, boom, and they didn't know it. And she still carries that very heavily. Jeez. And it's hard. And I understand it. It's a kid. But I mean, like, the room hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
Every year around this time, or that time of year is a very touchy time. And it's just like, it's crippling.
Oh, so do you think she would qualify for this?
Maybe. I don't know. Not really sure.
Because, like, to me, that does seem crippling. Grief is, I find it fascinating. I have a specific example in mind because it hits different people differently at different times, right? And my dad, when his mom passed away and my grandmother passed away, he dealt with it. He processed it. He kind of went into business mode. And I'm not trying to bring the room down either, but like we buried her several months later. She was cremated. We took her ashes to her hometown in Wisconsin. So she passed away in the fall. We didn't bury her ashes until the spring. And I remember this was like 8 or 9 months later. He was driving. We flew into Chicago and we were driving up to Wisconsin. And that's when he lost it.
Huh.
And it took a
while.
really long time. And like he had to pull over. My mom got in the car. So for him, grief was hit him very, very
It was
differently.
delayed.
Yeah.
And if you've ever followed the stages, I don't know if it's grief, but those 5 stages, it's like you can tick those off, and it's like it's just human nature to react in that order the way that you do. It's pretty wild stuff, man.
I mean, listen, the deceased. It goes without saying that they probably wouldn't want you to carry on that way.
I say that all the time.
And I will say this. Chances are I'm going to be the first one to check out out of all you guys. I'm going to tell you guys.
I don't think so.
No, Casey, no.
No, me.
No, I think it'll be me.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be me. But anyway, I'm telling you,
everything.
Categorically,
I hope it's all of
I
you.
don't.
Yeah.
In a plane crash.
Preston is the only one who finds the parachute.
Oh,
So there's no guessing. Got it. You don't have to say he wouldn't. I'm telling you right now, I don't want you guys to just give it, 5 minutes.
Right.
5 minutes of grief.
Right.
All right.
And then that's it.
Move on.
That's it. Move on.
Well, anyhow, let me give you these signs. Okay, so
What are we getting in the will?
Well,
Casey's generous.
Well, years ago, Nick claimed Seamus already. So
Is that cool?
Yeah.
That's still all right?
So wait, this is if both your
No. If
I want
go,
your tool shed.
we should make a list of things that we would leave each other.
I want your hot tub. I just want a hot tub. Okay.
You're gonna have to pry that from Rochelle's cold dead hands.
I'm going to leave Kathy my entire Batman.
I thought you were going to say your Christmas decorations.
Oh, that's a fun exercise. Do this with your friends at work today. Decide what you're going to... Yeah, let's chat about what you would leave each other in your will. All right, so other signs. When the person's bereavement lasts longer than social norms, causes distress or problems of functioning in important aspects of the person's life, like paying bills and taking care of themselves and stuff
Nick,
like that.
you get my bills.
Okay. And your son.
where you're rendered literally, you can't conduct life's affairs.
Yeah. So identity disruption, a marked sense of disbelief about the death, avoidance of reminders that that person is dead, intense emotional pain, intense loneliness, emotional numbness. Good Lord.
I've never known someone...
a feeling of life is meaningless.
I've never known someone who was completely incapacitated over a long time. I've known people who, as you said, life has just taken... They can't get it back. They can't get back a sense of normalcy. It's dramatically impacted, but not absolutely beyond being able to carry on their normal daily affairs.
Oh, I know. So you're describing someone I know, like everything you said.
Really?
No kidding.
Yeah.
So how do they get on and by?
It's hard.
Yeah. Well, so part of the deal is the inclusion of this diagnoses in this manual means that clinicians can now bill insurance companies for treating people for that condition. So if before you had an issue and they're like, sorry, we can't, your insurance will pay for it.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's good news for people.
We're going to have to classify you as a nymphomaniac.
No, but that's a real thing because then they don't get the help that they need because, it's not considered.
That makes it even worse.
But I wanted to mention there's this place because you're talking about it, and this is sort of what they deal with. But and I just learned about them, and I actually want to go out and visit the facility. But it's called Project Healing Hive, and it's in Phoenixville. And they deal with trauma and grief like this, and that's prolonged. And they sort of work with your, like your doctors and your therapists. And this is other things like they do beehive therapy and like different things like that. But they work in conjunction with your
doctors. Just haven't been right for quite a while. I know we have the queen, but I have some management things that I think I could help her out with. But she's just not listening. And once a drone, always a drone. But come on.
No, but.
This guy just drones on and on.
She was telling me about that, about the bees and
well, it's like equine therapy and things like that. There are things that are
they do art therapy.
That's cool.
My wife is getting into
the beekeeping. Yeah,
she's getting into beekeeping, and that is an aspect that people always mention about this thing. I mean, she's in like fully, not that she needs it for that level, but I could see that being something that is soothing.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. What's the name of it, Kathy?
It's called Project Healing Hive, and it's in Phoenixville.
And they mainly bereavement is what they cover? Okay.
That's a large part of what they do.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. By the way, Kathy, this text says that Casey will die, and Kathy will plan funeral activities. She puts the fun in funerals.
Hey.
I'll plan your party.
Yeah. Don't put me in a suit, by the way. Like when I'm in the casket, please don't put me in. Just put me in my
throw you off the roof.
Something comfortable?
Adidas pants.
Fancy sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to go to this call?
That's it. I never heard that before.
All right, let me go to Keith. Hi, Keith. Good morning.
Hey, bounty your possum, bounty your shark.
Wow. I vaguely remember that, but I love that, Keith. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I work in healthcare, and I work with a lot of old people, a lot of Alzheimer's patients, and it always just blows my mind that, they're always, my husband or my wife's going to pick me up tomorrow, and their spouse has been gone for years. It's just always so sad, and nobody ever corrects them because...
What's the point?
What is the point?
Yep.
Right.
Nope, I've heard of that. Yep. And you just, because they're going to, the thought of it is going to come and go, and they're not going to remember that the people in their mind were supposed to come by and get them, and they can,
Let me,
why have them go through that grief all over again?
There's a family friend, and Keith is like that with us, and she lives in Puerto Rico, and she's in that state of dementia, but everyone that passed that she loved is still alive, and everything is wonderful. Like every day is wonderful because it's all the things that went wrong in her mind are now good again. And that's the way I want to end up if you're going to have a possible option.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it, man. All right, we'll see you. Hang on. We have a question from Matt. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Word up, homies.
Yo, buddy. What's up, Matt?
I just wanted to see if this just applied for death.
From reading this article, it seems that way. Are you curious about other traumatic events, maybe that?
Yeah, like a divorce or.
I don't think grief falls under that same category. But I mean, there's there's obviously there's counseling for people to go through divorce and so on. But I don't think it falls under that because there's PTSD for having something traumatic happen in your life, but might be different.
It is definitely different. It's a sense of loss. How similar that is to the loss of a life of someone's life, but it's still a sense of loss. Yeah.
Are
you going through that, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I shouldn't say the prolonged grief, but
divorce and the
it can level you.
The loss that goes with you. But listen, man, there are plenty of counselors out there. If you need some help, you can track them down.
Already going to them.
Good, man. You
Okay.
made a good choice.
Well, keep working.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you, guys.
Appreciate it. See you later. All right. So anyhow, I had never heard of that. I thought that was interesting and glad that they've made that distinction. And now, if you have or know someone who's going through that, then hopefully insurance can cover something like that. All right. What else? Just Saying Institute. That's where we are. We're studying all kinds of things on the grounds of the JSI. In fact, some of it has to do with space travel, but pretty interesting. 2030 might mark the year that humans finally make their first steps on Mars, per NASA's timeline. And Mars-bound astronauts are going to have a long microgravity journey through space ahead of them. And microgravity is a direct cause of bone loss, putting these pioneers at major risk. But there may be a crunchy, tasty, healthy solution to this. On Tuesday at the spring meeting of the American Chemical Society.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Mouse skeletons?
No. Scientists presented their blueprint for a new transgenic lettuce.
Ooh.
It is similar to the salad ingredient we know and love, but genetically engineered to prevent bone loss, and it can be grown right there in outer space.
Well, that is that's, as you said, is a big issue. How do you maintain?
Yep.
We talked about the concept of being on the International Space Station, and even though they have resistance training and all that stuff, during the course of the day, as you simply hold yourself up and walk, you're exercising basically.
So eating this particular plant would be like collecting a video game power-up, they said, that protects against the threats of microgravity. On Earth, our body maintains a balance between breaking down minerals in our bones and repairing things to make sure that we're always getting the nutrients that we need. In microgravity, though, the equation loses its harmony. Bone mineral breakdown still happens, but subsequent repairs can't keep up, which leads to a loss of overall bone density.
I'd love to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson how close we are to some sort of situation. You see it all the time depicted in space where they're using a spinning
Centrifuge.
Right, centrifuge to create gravity.
Artificial gravity.
How close are we to something like that, or is it even possible?
So to counteract the bone loss in space, astronauts often exercise in their spacecrafts, like you mentioned on the ISS. They have a bicycle, a treadmill, special weightlifting device. But in a new study, researchers note there hasn't been enough evidence to support that exercise is sufficient to stave off bone density reduction. So that's why space explorers carry syringes of a medication that is called it's a human parathyroid hormone, or PTH. And basically the PTH helps stimulate bone formation, but the therapy has its downsides. It requires you to take injections every single day, which isn't ideal. So the team's new lettuce concoction, each day an astronaut would have to eat about 8 cups of lettuce.
Wow.
In order to get the proper dose. Kevin Yates, a chemist at the University of California, said
like a gopher.
Said we decided to use lettuce because lettuce is a plant that's been grown on the ISS. He said it's also a plant that's very productive in terms of producing seeds. So our idea is that if we created a transgenic plant, one seed can generate thousands of seeds.
So the gravity on Mars is, it says here, 2.66 times that of Earth is 2.66 times that of Mars.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I might be able to dunk a basketball.
The moon is 1/6 of our gravity. I know that.
So, like on a Planet Fitness on a moon base, you could throw 1,000 pounds up on the bench and
you could throw quite a bit.
Yeah,
I would imagine. Yeah, 1/6.
Not so on Mars.
Aside from space exploration, the researchers emphasize that their invention can be given to anyone predisposed to bone loss as well. So you'll be able to eat it here if you have a bone loss problem. So they're working on that stuff.
All
They're
right.
getting there. All right, what else? We have her. One more, Casey?
Yeah, you got about 4 minutes.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got to go live on Fox Good Day today. All right, let's go with one more quick story. And we will do this one. Okay, scientists have created fabric that can hear.
What?
This special acoustic fabric, which was created at MIT, is made from a material that turns any movement of the fabric into an electrical signal. And when the material
I have a bow tie that has a period.
When it is woven into more traditional yarns, it can create a piece of textile that could be draped and washed just like traditional fabric. And researchers have suggested a whole host of possible options for using the fabric in practice, including hearing aids, clothes that are able to communicate.
This is out of science fiction.
And fabrics that can track the bodily responses of people wearing them.
So there I forget what piece of science fiction it is, but the person is wearing a garment that does this. That enables, that heightens their senses.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I forget where it is, but that'd be kind of amazing.
I love the scene in, I don't remember if it's maybe Batman Begins or Dark Knight or whatever, but they use like that electrical current on
memory cloth.
The
wings, yeah.
That's what they call
and
the
I know
memory
that
cloth.
like it's kind of based in actual fabric that exists, and to be able to take something that you're wearing or would put in your ear or whatever and use it for useful purposes, utile functions. It's pretty fascinating.
You can hook that up around your crotch.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like
Look at the rod
fleshlight
on
you
me.
can-
Yeah.
Wait, I can hear my nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're lonely.
You love me?
I love you too.
Well, why wouldn't you, man? I love you too, Ballsack. Would you like to be shaved?
I just want to be caressed.
Okay, I can do that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Both of us.
No. All right, so anyhow, fabric that can hear. Never heard of that before. Interesting.
Weird.
These are things from the Just Saying Institute, and it's time to close up. Let's hop on the monorail and head out of here and get off of the grounds. But thank you for stopping by. Home of the new Regis Philbin
Oral Sex Research Center and Couscous Food Court.
Excellent. All right, let us take a break and come back in a second. I said let us. And, we'll get into Fox Good Day and the Bizarre File when we get back. And then after that, Tom Papa, who's going to be in town this weekend, will be joining us. Stay with us.
We got some rookies coming in here. We got some new free agent signings. You want to talk about, hungry dogs, and he's trying to motivate people with it. I mean, it's something that was such a big part, I think, with the team and the city, and it kind of all correlated together that I probably hear that one the most.
That's Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
I did notice something else.
More from the noticer. He notices so you don't have to.
I noticed
across an empty field. Down the dark alley.
I do notice that I will use digital assistants from time to time. The two that I use are
your fingers.
No,
and your toes.
Not those digital.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Meaning Siri and Alexa. Those are the two that I use from time to time. Now,
Okay.
Alexa I mainly use for like a timer when I'm cooking or music to listen to real quick or something like that.
In your kitchen, do you have the show, the Alexa show? Which has the screen on it?
Oh. No.
It's actually very cool, especially if you're doing recipes or things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there was a new study that finds which is the smartest of them all and in what order. This is Loop Ventures. They did a study that had researchers ask the 4 digital assistants 800 questions, and they found all assistants were great at understanding the questions. They have determined who actually answered the most questions.
I have them all, or have had them all. This sounds like I'm bragging about sexual conquest. But, yeah, so go through this. I'm curious to see if it lines up with what I experienced.
So they found that the smartest of them all is Google Assistant.
Okay, so that's what I learned, is that the ability to answer questions and questions contextually went to Google.
I can't stand when I ask Siri a question and she just gives me a bunch of websites to go to. I'm like, dude, just give me
do not like that. However, though, Google Assistant will most often default to Wikipedia.
There are obviously silly, ridiculous things that you don't need it for, but you use it for anyway.
I still do, yeah.
What do you think for you is the most practical purpose for using any of these?
Well, honestly, for the when I'm sitting, for example, if I'm sitting and I'm setting up something for the media, you know, I'm watching TV or whatever, and I'm looking down at something, or I need the lights on, or turning lights on and off.
Okay.
Playing music, playing
I think that's
the radio.
What I would use it for.
Playing. I walk into a room. I constantly use it for weather. I constantly use it. I'll get a quick news update.
Yep.
So I'm interfacing it with that. And if you look at if you find out on your app on your phone, it'll tell you your last 70 requests, and mine are always sort of the same thing.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, it records everything, so you can find out every single request that you've asked.
I am using them all the time throughout the day.
But you know what? Like, you're busy, Steve. I know somebody, Nick, who can probably come over to your place, who I think is in between gigs right now. Gary Lauer is not doing anything right now. His house is closed.
You know what? Honestly, you don't even need an echo. Just have Gary answer.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot out there.
Just have your own Gary.
I'll turn it on for you. Lights on.
All right.
Hey, Gary, lights on.
All right, 1 second. There you go. Gary, should I wear a sweater outside? I'll be right back. It's pretty chilly. Lauer.
Lauer.
Yeah, Lauer.
That's what it would be.
Yeah. Hey, Lauer.
Because Gary would be too common.
Hey, Lauer, play Allman Brothers. Lauer, switch to Skinnerd.
Hey, Lauer.
Yes. Switch to Killers. Somebody told me.
All right.
Hey, Lauer, play MMR.
Well, don't you have to kind of have like a bing bong prompt?
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, Lauer. Working.
Play Summer Breeze by Seals and Croft.
Summer Breeze.
I met a guy.
Bill parties hard.
I met a guy.
Let's do some heroin
at our gig the other night who is Bill's neighbor, and he told me you should hear Bill at church because Bill is a lector.
He's a lector, yes.
And so he speaks at church. Could you imagine being at church and you hear the other people that are kind of speaking like this, and Bill steps up to the microphone.
And then Jesus.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
Said Peter, you'll be the third leg of the stool.
Yes.
The word of the Lord.
The Romans are the low-hanging fruit in this scenario. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
David actually slung some fruit instead of a rock.
Who had the roast beef?
But,
I give this resurrection an A+.
But listen, when in my short amount of time, I knew a Catholic church. My wife is Catholic, and the priest initially spoke at such a level, and you guys know my hearing.
Oh, yeah.
I sat there. I'm like, what am I even doing here?
What is he saying?
What is the point of me being
Honestly?
here? I don't hear anything.
You would want a Bill Weston. You'd want someone
Sure.
who projects.
Yeah. It was just I'm like, the whole time I think this is a waste of time.
Listen to me, Preston.
We've got a priest at our parish that performs each Sunday.
Oh, it's about him then, huh?
He's very nice. He shakes everybody's hand afterwards, and he's a nice. But it's.
I'm going to improve
you want
on
a
the
show,
word of God.
and you want to be able to hear. You can come to my church, Preston.
Right.
Okay.
Does he do close-up magic as well?
No, but he's interactive.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kids get to come up on.
Watch me kick the cap off this bomb. Now, as Jesus kicked the Canaanites.
Steve, he kicks the bottle. He gives the cap off of the wine.
Snuffs out the candles.
That could work too.
Yes.
That could work too. I mean, who wouldn't find that entertaining?
Kicking a few Eucharists into the mouth. Watch this.
When I was on an
Hold that Eucharist talk about just so. You can travel down a street named after you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think a statue would be more awesome.
You like a statue?
I think
on top of a horse with a raised sword?
Yeah, with rearing
That's
up.
Preston Elliott.
Yeah, rearing up. Both of its front hooves in the air.
Yes.
I'd love to have that.
Wait a second.
He fought in the Civil War?
What does that mean? There's a difference.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing.
There was a long-standing myth, at least this is what I've read, that it would depend on if there was one leg raised or two, whether they died in battle or, but...
Oh, I heard completely other.
Apparently that's
I heard gay, not gay.
You're gay or not gay?
Gay general.
Gay general. Oh, she's on one foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this general was gay because both the horses' front hooves are up. I don't think that's accurate. No, trust me.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I read a book.
Yeah.
What does it mean when all four hooves are on the ground?
Polyamorous.
Yeah, exactly. They could anything.
Anything goes.
They're just looking for love. All right, so they're gonna fix that.
By curious. If they're standing alongside the horse.
Thank you, Kathy. You know what's interesting is sometimes when just by knowing that something still exists, even though you don't really use something any longer, can be comforting. And then when you find out when that thing is going away, even though you haven't used it for a long time, it's very sad.
What?
Mad Magazine is going to stop publishing issues this fall.
Yeah.
And we were subscribing a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago. My kids, like one of them picked up, saw a Mad Magazine, got it, liked it. And I'm like, oh, done deal. We're signing up for this. I love Mad Magazine. Mm-hmm. And we haven't been subscribers for a couple of years. But when I heard this, I was so bummed out. I loved Mad as a kid. It was just my favorite thing to get in the mail.
Likewise, Mad Magazine was the best. I also got Cracked Magazine.
Yeah, I did too.
Then I progressed into the National Lampoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, and that helped instruct my comedic chops along the way. So many comedians, so many people, just people in general who love humor, loved Mad Magazine because it was a subversive comic book for kids. Adults read it too, but it was obviously...
Yeah, because it would flirt with adult material.
It would, all the time.
Not blue material, but it would...
Political movie parody, stuff like that. But it was very cool. And it had a litany of great artists and features. Spy versus Spy. You had...
Don Martin,
Mort Drucker, Al Jaffe. The fold out, the fold in, as they called it in the back, you would have a picture, you could fold it to become another picture. Alfred E. Neumann, of course, a legendary character. They had the TV series. But man, when that would come in the mail,
Do you still subscribe to any magazines? You get magazines?
Last magazine I used to get at home was because we signed up for one of our family members was selling subscriptions, so we were getting Entertainment Weekly, and then that sort of went away. But in my heyday, I subscribed. I used to get Famous Monsters of Filmland, Starlog, Fangoria, National Lampoon. I was getting lots of magazines at home. fairly frequently.
I used to get Entertainment Weekly for work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to get that, but I still subscribe to a couple. I'm Golf Digest and Golf Magazine.
There you go.
I still want the hard copy magazine in there. I have a hard time reading magazines, a full magazine online. You know what I mean?
On the crapper.
Now articles, I can see, picking up here and there through aggregator sites and stuff like that. But if I want to dive into a full magazine, what they have to offer, I still need the hard copy. So, did you ever subscribe to dirty magazines? Because I did. The only one I ever had.
Playboy.
I had a prescription. God knows I needed it.
Son, you need something for your boner. Take 2 Hustlers and at night cut it in half. Cut Beaver magazine in half.
I had a subscription to Playboy, but that's the only one that I could ever. That one I could get away with.
You could,
but
You're not embarrassed about it.
I couldn't subscribe. Penthouse, maybe. But then when you get into your Hustlers and We and, whatever the other magazines
Cherry. Wouldn't it blow your mind that people would get home delivery? Because I remember, there were subscription cards in these things for the other magazines. Like, who's getting Sweaty Vagina magazine at home? Here's your bills, and that looks like a good issue. Now, obviously, they would seal them specifically for the mailing, but still, you could tell what it was.
I never had subscriptions. The only one that had were there's other two I mentioned earlier, but I was totally into scary movies when I was younger. And so Fangoria was the other one.
There was Fangoria, there was Starlog, there was Famous Monsters of Filmland, there was, like I said, the Monster Times was another one of them. Another one, am I missing them?
You're missing one. There was Fangoria, not Fantasia. It was
Biggins?
Jugs, and they're
areolas.
People that are reminding us the names of
Butthole.
Some of the other. I subscribe to Butthole magazine.
What's this one about?
It's a picture of a guy with a pipe. I'm a butthole reader. For this Christmas, give Dad what he wants.
Yeah.
Butthole.
Steve, what are you reading?
I'm reading Butthole, Preston. Telling me how I can set up my stereo. Apparently, you have to run the cords through your butthole.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what are you reading there?
Oh, I was just reading Butthole magazine, telling me how to get a more effective home theater. Apparently, it works better if you put the cord through your butthole.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is the 10 tastiest cheeses for the holidays. Many of them are better if you put them in your butthole. Some guy with an ascot on.
Everything.
Lord Buddington.
An ascot.
Your butthole. An abscot.
I got about 30 seconds. Real quick shout out. This says, good morning at Preston. Really hope you can do a big stinky shout out for my son Dante. His birthday is March 24th. He'll be turning 7 years old, and I think his head will explode if he hears you guys say happy birthday to him. Any day works as I listen to the podcast. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Pauline Kennedy. So, a shout out for Dante. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Let me see. Coming up in a little while, we are going to have Tom Papa on the program. He is going to be performing at the Keswick Theater on Saturday, one of my absolute favorite comedians. So excited to talk to him today. And then at 9, we go through the 23rd Annual Anatomy Awards. Mr. Skin will be on to tell us about all that's happened in the past year.
See our prep book? We get a book of all the nominees.
I've not looked at it yet. Wow. All right, we'll find out in a bit. Here's Fox Good Day. We're going live right now.
Hey, it's 7:56. Time for our little segment with Preston and Steve and the whole crew over at MMR. Welcome, guys, and the whole crew. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Karen, let's set this up.
So the question is, what's the professional way to tell the people you work with what you really think when something happens and your head is exploding? So there's this TikToker who's translating what you really want to say into corporate jargon. For example,
you professionally say, please hurry up and get this done.
It's important that we have this completed in order to meet our targeted deadlines, which are quickly approaching.
Stay in your own lane.
Thank you for your input. I'll keep that in mind as I move forward with decisions that fall within my responsibility.
I've told you this multiple times.
There's a lot of that, Preston and Steve. Thank you for your input.
Yeah.
Do you ever? What do? Count to 10 before you send emails?
Well, you know, the classic one we always talk about is when you're being let go. We're going in a different direction,
right?
That direction in no way includes you.
No, Mike, longer than 10. I have to wait at least a day.
A day?
Yeah. No, because otherwise I'm going to send an email that I'll regret.
Yeah. Do you have a straitjacket on? What's going on?
It's just a yellow shirt.
It's one of those delightful yellow straitjackets for spring.
What I meant to say is I enjoy your outfit this morning.
Yeah, it's funny to watch the emails that come in that are official from corporate types or management and the way that they're worded, but it's so easy to read through the subtext.
You can discern instantly. The one that kills me, if someone leaves on good terms, it'll be represented. It'll be a longer tribute. Instead of so-and-so's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Direct all inquiries to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they got fired.
Right,
Yes.
right, yeah.
You could easily tell that.
All that stuff.
Personally, it's hard to suffer fools. Like in this, business, there's a lot of stuff that happens with segments and stuff. Do you ever just want to say something and then just like have to stop yourself and say something different instead?
Every hour.
You avoid it, and what you do is you place a loaded pistol in their desk and rat them out.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Guess who's packing heat today?
But you know what? I think we're kind of anomalies, and you guys too, being the personalities, don't we have a little bit more leeway because we're kind of Reggie, you know?
Yeah. As a man who's been suspended multiple times, it's what I get is from management. It's your tone.
It's your tone.
And these are from off-air incidents, Mike?
Oh, these are
they're on air.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's off air. I don't get suspended.
Okay.
We have not been, though I don't know how we've not. No. We just blame Mike Jarek for all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So we gotta
I
do
know
it.
when I worked up in New York, our corporate people would say, we wish them well after you get fired.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, yeah.
It's a refrain.
But everyone dances around it. We don't get called upon to do that. But I think the question, is a lot of people will not confront things and let it fester, as you were saying, get to the point where you're going to explode, and you don't want that.
Nope.
Who is the exploder on your staff?
Casey.
Well, come on, man.
In a funny way.
No, I mean, what is that supposed to mean?
Because little things will get to him. So if it's
The big things don't bother me. It's the little things.
Yeah.
Who's the perfectionist?
Well,
is that Preston?
Oh, no, that's Kathy.
Kathy, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
perfectionist.
Kathy.
I was to say Marissa.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah, Marissa probably. Yeah.
But Kathy can read all of our various body language and sounds that we make and know if we're fuming, if we're furious.
I know how to read the room pretty well.
Yeah.
That's the talent of women. And also, by the way, I went Casey Boy's hat. Represent Delco. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you. This is a gift that I got from one of my really good friends, Chuck, and I get compliments on it all the time.
Yep. Yeah. What does Kathy have to say about that?
About the Delco hat? I would never wear that.
People have an issue with the flat brim, really.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you. Guys, we will see you later on. All right, we got to get to the bizarre file, so let's go for it.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Natural Lawn of America. Safer for your lawn, kids, and pets. And you can schedule their full service program and get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. So, a drunk driving suspect who told Florida cops that she had not consumed alcohol was contradicted by her own 9-year-old son, who declared from the car's backseat, "Mom, you can't lie to the police. You did drink."
Oh, that's my little angel.
Kristen Wiley, a 49-year-old teacher, narrowly avoided striking a police car as she drove on a Vero Beach street around 2 a.m. The cop car, with its lights flashing, had pulled over to handle an unrelated incident. When deputies approached her car, they spotted her son, who was not wearing a seatbelt in the back seat, curled up and crying. As detailed in the arrest affidavit, a cop noted the wobbly Wiley's eyes, how wobbly, it should say.
Yes.
They were watery and red in color, and there was a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting off her person and breath. When asked if she had been drinking, she said no. And that's when cops say Wiley's son replied to his mother's answer saying, Mom, you can't lie to the police. You did drink. The boy subsequently told cops that his mother had been drinking at a party and that he had asked her to slow down while they were driving back to their home. The child said he was very scared while Kristen was operating the vehicle. Wiley, who reportedly admitted to consuming 2 vodka mixed drinks at a party, declined to perform field sobriety exercises. She later agreed to a breath test, which recorded her alcohol content at nearly 3 times the legal limit. In addition to a DUI count, she was also charged with child abuse, a felony for allegedly driving drunk with her son in the car.
And to know what can happen with that, look what happened here locally.
Of course,
yeah,
yes.
Horrifying.
This is something that you hear every day. A mom from, or it's not something you hear every day. This is pretty wild. A mom from Indiana says that she went into labor with her daughter. She was giving, while she was going in labor, she was given Pitocin, which is a synthetic hormone. It helps simulate a woman's uterus muscles and cause contractions, so it speeds up the delivery. 23-year-old Bethany Collins said after pushing hard, she felt an intense pressure in her left eye. And by the time she was being stitched up, her eye started poking out more and more. Oh. The next day, an optometrist came to examine her eye and said he had never seen anything like this before. Apparently, her eye popped out.
Oh, my God.
Giving birth. Collins says ultimately the final verdict was that there was just a lot of pressure from the force of the push.
Oh, man.
So the doctor said to wait and see if it would go back. I noticed improvement at the 2-week mark, and it was like I got a black eye. It was protruding and bruised.
Oh, my God.
Took a total of 6 weeks for her eye to return to normal.
So it had basically distended out of the socket?
A little bit. Not. It wasn't like hanging on her cheek, but it had popped out. Yeah.
That's not a good look.
From giving childbirth. Wow. A woman is suing a novelty gift company for sending her a life-size penis-shaped chocolate to her door, citing fear, nervousness, anxiety, worry, and indignity after receiving the phallic confection on her doorstep. The complaint, filed by Linda Parks in Ventura County, California, details the emotional distress Parks received when she got an unexpected chocolate delivery from company. The company is called Dick at Your Door, okay? So Rain Parade LLC owns it. Now, they sell a range of prank items beyond the Choco Dongs. They also offer chocolate buttholes with the message that says, live fast, eat ass, printed on the box.
That sounds good.
A bag of D's, which are gummies, and also glitter bombs. The complaint claims the 5-inch chocolate phallus has no redeeming social qualities whatsoever.
It's a joke.
She's suing for damages, including psychological counseling, lost wages, and a cost of the suit.
So who sent it to her?
They don't know. It's anonymous.
Yeah, probably somebody, and it's funny. This is apropos. Her reaction to this is probably the whole reason why she got it sent it to begin with.
It looks good. I'd eat that.
All right, well, I know what you're getting for Christmas.
So she's also a local politician. That's why. That's why she got it. She received it in 2021. At the time, an effort to recall her position as supervisor was underway because she voted in favor of suing businesses that refused to comply with the state and county health regulations to slow the spread of COVID-19, such as indoor mask wearing. And the recall effort failed, so somebody didn't like that. Parks claims to have suffered headaches, fear, nervousness, anxiety, worry, and indignity because of the mysterious chocolate phallus.
Really?
The D at Your Door page says that it will ship everything with complete discretion, and that it won't give your information out unless you do something illegal or involved in a legal lawsuit, and we are required by law. And it's not the first time that D at Your Door has been sued by someone on the receiving end of their candies. In 2016, a human resources director at a Dallas-based technology company sued them for a person who had sent her a bag of D's through this company.
We got a bag of D's at my house. I believe from this same company. It was glitter and confetti.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And I think we got the gummies, too.
Did you find out who it was?
Yeah, we found out who it was.
Friend,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
A 37-year-old Belgian man has confessed to murdering his former school teacher because he, quote, felt humiliated. Gunter Uwents admitted the killing on Thursday and said he had not come to terms with his victim's behavior at school. This is when he was in grade school. He's 37. His former teacher, Maria Verlinden, was found dead in a pool of blood in November of 2020 at her home. After a 16-month investigation involving hundreds of DNA samples, Uwents eventually admitted to the murder and was arrested on Sunday.
So how many years was he holding on to this?
A long time. So the suspect had given police detailed explanations for his extremely violent act. He claimed that he had struggled in primary school in the 1990s because of Verlin's behavior. The 59-year-old teacher had humiliated him as a student, he had said. So I don't know if he's got a mental condition or what.
Sounds like it.
But yeah, apparently he appeared before a judge on Tuesday and has been placed in custody on a murder charge. All right, and then one last story. You could be paid for your poop.
Yay!
Ceres Therapeutics is a biotech company in Arizona and has opened a donor collection facility, collect poop for cash.
I'm getting a hot tub.
The company operates Good Nature, which has set up shop in Tempe and is asking for donations of poop that can earn dollars, at least $25 and up to $75 per sample. This is your dream, Casey. You can make money from this.
Always wanted the crap in a bag.
Good Nature is specifically looking for healthy adults aged 18 to 50 and knows that donors can earn up to $1,500 a month in compensation.
You be living the high life.
In addition to meeting the health criteria, donors have to be able to donate poop 3 to 4 times a week.
I can do that.
At the collection site.
Check.
At the collection site. So you have to go there.
Mr. Foster's coming in today. Remember, he's poop money.
Yeah. Steve, there's a maitre d' standing with a little towel hanging on their arm.
Mr.
waiting
Foster.
for you. It's right this way.
Do you like that movement?
The poop is being collected to help lead to future developments in gastrointestinal infections and disorders as
Your
well.
cabbage and black coffee is waiting.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, let's take a break because our buddy Tom Papa will be joining us shortly. He is appearing this weekend, Saturday, at the Keswick Theater. And then a little later on, Mr. Skin on the program. So we'll be back with all of that in a moment. Stay with us. I think, now that I'm reminiscing, fondly about Butthole Magazine. No, I'm pretty certain it had to have been, Mad Magazine had to have been my very first subscription to anything.
I'm going to say likewise.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. And there's just, do you remember when you would see something in it? And it's not like you could do today, obviously. You would look at this, you'd lend the magazine.
I never read it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't, unfortunately, the only thing that I know that what you're talking about is Alfred E. Neumann and that little thing in the back.
But Preston, so Case, not only would you have the picture in a lot of these cases, but what you would love is in the background there'd be like flies with little fly lines around them. Or there'd be these little things that they would do to just augment the picture that made it great.
Yeah, agreed. And
the artists were great.
There were almost little Easter eggs throughout as well, and outside of the frames
all
and
over
things
the
like
place.
that. Yeah. So you really had to. You could spend a lot of time reading the magazine. It wasn't just you pick it up and tear right through it. I mean, I would hang on to them and go back and see things that I would miss the first time around.
I remember laughing out loud, as a kid, and one of the first times really laughing that profoundly. And that carried over to National Lampoon, which, again, great memories of that. And Nick, you saw the documentary about.
Yeah, with Will Forte.
Yeah, and there
phenomenal.
I remember they did a piece on, it was an old-style brochure for the largest ocean liner ever built. I think it was called the Tyrannic. And the artist illustrations were done in that sort of Art Deco style, where, they drew the ship on such an enormous scale that you were just howling with laughter.
Yeah.
You can't describe it. You have to see it. But to have that reaction from a magazine that you're sitting there, to read something and laugh that loudly is just... you don't get that.
Mad Magazine had published 550 issues prior to its reboot, by the way, which was in 2018, I believe. DC purchased Mad Magazine in 2017, but they're going to hang it up. At its height, it had 2.8 million subscribers.
Now they took
which was in like 1973, I think.
They took a big hit when editor Max Sherman went over to handle the chores at Butthole. And,
yes, exactly.
Do you know what you're getting into over there at Butthole?
Oh my God. Butthole Magazine. Someday.
I'm curating their wine list.
Yeah.
Apparently it tastes better when you drink it from someone's butthole.
But it's sad. It's sad that it's going away, even though I haven't, actively been a subscriber for a couple of years. But nonetheless. Anything from Silicon Valley to Patriots Day to Crazy Rich Asians to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jimmy O Yang.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jimmy?
Morning. I'm doing well. It's
Excellent.
great.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Patriots Day, you were fantastic in.
Thank you so much. Sadly, not a lot of people watched it.
Your character was the one who was kidnapped, held hostage by those guys, and eventually escaped and alerted the police. Hey, I know where these guys are. I know who they are. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, that guy was amazing.
Yeah.
Danny Mang, Chinese immigrant, college student, and this is about, of course, the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah.
And I bugged him every other day. Spoiler alert, he stays alive, in the movie.
Yeah.
So I bugged him every day when I was in Boston, and we had dinner, like went to Chinatown every other day. He was a really nice, warm guy, and he came to the premiere and tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, I think you did a great job.
That
was
there
nice.
you go. Is stand-up comedy where you kind of started, or acting, or where'd you begin?
That's where everything started. I started doing stand-up at the Ha Ha Comedy Club. In L.A. I had to pay $5 for 5 minutes of stage time.
You were born in Hong Kong, correct?
I was born in Hong Kong, yeah.
Came here. I know you have a book called How to American: An Immigrant's Guide to Disappointing Your Parents.
Yes, that's true.
And so you're working at a financial firm, or where was it?
Yeah, it was Smith Barney, which was under Citigroup. And I graduated 2010 from college, which is right after the financial crash of 2008.
It's a perfect time.
Nobody in finance was hiring, and nobody was going to trust a 22-year-old kid with their money.
Right.
So my dad hooked me up with an internship, and one day he came home, he was like, Jimmy, great news. They're going to hire you full-time. You're going to be a great financial advisor. And literally, tears of joy was coming out of his eyes. And I thought that was just the worst news ever. That to me sounded like a death sentence, And I just didn't know how to tell him. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I had to, disappoint my parents in order to not disappoint myself.
Yeah.
That was the creed that I lived by. So after college, I did that internship for a little bit just to appease my dad. And then after that, I got 3 jobs when I graduated. I was a used car salesman. I worked at a comedy club as a doorman in exchange for stage time, and then I was a strip club DJ at night. So I did all those 3 things, still not knowing what I wanted to do. But there was no customers in that club, so nobody ever did.
What was it? Were you doing day stripping, or was it the night stripper?
It was night stripping. It was after my comedy club show. There was no prime time in that club at any time. I started off with just a stand-up community, which I thought was so cool. That's one of the main reasons why I did stand-up.
So you've seen Bobby Lee's penis then?
Sadly, no. I feel a bit left out.
Wow.
I feel a bit
that
left
guy
out.
gets naked every time he comes in this studio.
Oh, really? I've been to his house, and he still has not shown me his penis.
We're not even Asian.
We're closer friends. Yeah.
I know. There must be something wrong with me. Maybe he only shows penis to white people.
It might be, Dad.
That might be it.
And he tells you guys about, listen, here's what I do with the white. Whip it out.
But yeah, Bobby was somebody I looked up to. I watched Matt TV religiously. Steve Byrne was somebody I looked up to. Ken Jeong, and now we're all really close and good friends.
That's great.
Ken, of course, was in the movie.
Yeah,
it's great.
And we all love each other. And doing this movie, one of the greatest thing, was I felt like I found my creed. Of actors, comedians, because we all kind of went through the same phase of disappointing our parents to do this job. We all had the same experience. And when we hang out in Singapore, there was no questions of hey, can we go to Chinese food? Look, it's not weird Chinese food. It's just no, everybody was just down. We go to authentic Chinese food, and we did karaoke every night. Everybody was just on the same page, and it felt so good.
Did you do work with the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, man. People ask me that. It was one of my very first paid jobs ever. So the Harlem Globetrotters, they go to China for a world tour every year.
Right.
And I was one of the only Chinese American comedians they could find. This was 10 years ago. And I was the only one they could afford, I guess. They paid me $200.
To do what exactly?
To be a consultant. So they sent me the script for the Chinese tour to make sure nothing's offensive.
Oh.
Honestly, I didn't even read the script.
You're good to go.
I didn't know. I was that was my first job as a comic. I didn't know. And I skimmed through the script. There's something about they bring out a Hello Kitty thing, in the middle of their show. I just told them for $200. I was like, dude, Hello Kitty's Japanese, not Chinese. Okay, just so you guys know that. And that was it. That was my $200 worth of advice. And now on my Wikipedia says that I wrote for the Harlem Globetrotters. So.
Silicon Valley, they know not on their radar. They
Yes and no. My dad understands comedy a little better than my mom. Like, he loved it. My mom watched it for the first time. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, can you not hunch it back?"
He's correcting your posture?
Yeah, I was like, "Ma, I'm playing a character in the show." It's like, "Okay, play someone who doesn't hunch his back."
Another day, another Korn story. Korn has announced that the band will release its 13th studio album, The Nothing, on September 13th. The follow-up to 2016's The Serenity of Suffering has been preceded by a first single called You'll Never Find Me, which arrived on Wednesday.
Again.
Oh, okay. Jonathan Davis said, deep within our Earth lives an extraordinary force.
He's right.
Very few are aware of the magnitude and significance of this place where good and evil, dark and light, bliss and torment, loss, gain, and hope and despair all exist as one, pulling at us every moment of our lives.
Welcome to the deep, dark caverns of energy. You are here because of corn, yes? You are one of us. You make the hallowed sound.
It's not something he
Everyone.
It's not something that we can choose to navigate, he says, but
what a bunch of crap.
And it's the only place where balance between these dynamic and polarizing forces exists, where the soul finds its refuge. Welcome to The Nothing. Did you just make that?
I just made that.
Put it at the beginning.
One more time.
Yeah, all right.
We are in the nothing. Play the ceremonial sound. Enter.
Oh, that's like the password.
Yes,
at the door.
yeah. It's open sesame.
Okay.
You have approached the boulder of truth. To enter the hall of corn, you must emit the sound of recognition. Proceed.
Slowly, the boulder rolls to one side.
Enter.
This is as stupid as it gets.
Davis is living.
Hi!
Come on in.
Come on in!
I love songs like that are just, oh my God, you just said it.
Yeah.
You just said it so plainly. Not a lot of, flowery language or metaphors. You just said it straight out. I love
I know
that.
one that comes immediately to mind. That actually, when I had gone through a breakup, laid it out, and I was like,
I know
got
what it is.
Say it.
Heart of the matter?
You got it.
I knew it.
It's the economy of words.
Telling you.
The message.
Yeah.
It nailed it.
I agree. Don Henley.
Yeah.
And it's so plainly speaks. And he managed to make it all rhyme.
And he made it rhyme.
How the hell do you do that? These guys. But I wanted to throw this out as a subject of the song that gave you the strength, whatever it was. Jim, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Jim?
Hey, so 15 years ago, I was working for Johnson & Johnson, and we were working on a new Tylenol product, that's Tylenol Rapid Release Gels.
Yeah.
So I'm down in Puerto Rico. I was down there for about 18 months, away from my family, the whole deal. And we were having a lot of technical problems. We're really dejected because we're thinking we're going to have to tell them to delay the launch and everything. And we're winding up the day around 8 o'clock at night. We're on our way to a small hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and as we're walking into the restaurant, we hear Rocky going the distance.
Get ready to release the title!
And so forth. And
you got a headache? Are you ready? You got a headache? You want an immediate relief? Then you got that title on! Rapid release! Come on! Rapid release! You can't wait? Your head hurts!
But Jim, was the weirdest thing, and in Puerto Rico of all places too. It was hilarious.
Regular Excedrin stinks.
But it gave you the strength because you were missing your daughter, and you just to keep on going, right?
I love you.
Exactly.
I miss you so much. But Daddy's working on rapid release title.
Down here in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God!
You can't come home right now. It's with the Puerto Ricans trying to mix the rapid release Tylenol.
I hope no one's calling in for sympathy.
Not gonna get it.
Because when you got your head, it feels like it's a punching bag. You gotta have immediate relief.
Yeah. Well, listen, it could.
What's that up on the roof? It sounds like a seizure.
You have to take a few Tylenol, maybe like a billion.
But it's like a billion.
Yeah.
Does it shut down your kidneys?
An artificial tongue that can taste minute differences between varieties of Scotch whiskey could be the key to identifying counterfeit alcohol.
I was watching this story yesterday, and I guess the guy who invented it, Preston, has a really thick Scottish brogue.
Yeah, so they're engineers from the University of Glasgow and Strathclyde in Scotland that created this. Yes.
So and it can. The whole purpose is to distinguish knockoff Scotch, basically
counterfeit alcohol.
Wow.
Well, because you're talking about big money when it comes to
also
some brands of alcohol.
Listen, Angus, I'm taking this home for the weekend. It's the missus's birthday.
Yeah, it's the artificial tongue.
Here, sit on this for about an hour.
The study
you'll be seeing Israeli parasites in no time.
Involving arranging submicroscopic slices of the two metals in a checkerboard pattern of taste buds.
Look at that tongue go.
Which are around 500 times smaller than those on a human tongue.
So
the scientists measured the plasmonic resonance, or the tiny difference in how much light they absorb, to identify the types of whiskey.
Will this be the companion piece to the fleshlight?
Maybe, or the Sibian. It could be used in food safety testing, quality control, security,
frat parties,
really any area where a portable, reusable method of tasting would be useful. But one whiskey expert casts doubt on the artificial tongue's effectiveness. Charles McLean.
This is a crock of crap.
A master.
You and your stupid tongue. I see right through your ruse, you knob niffler. That's a Scottish insult.
Is it?
I just made it up.
It is now. You knob niffler.
Niffling knobs all day.
No, his title is he is a master of the quaich.
You're a master
This
of the
Saturday,
quaich.
the Keswick Theater is going to light up with the comedy stylings of our next guest. He's a friend of the show. We love having him on. He's one of my absolute favorite. Please give some love to Mr. Tom Pop. This morning. Yay. It's early. Hi, Tom. Nice to see you, sir. Tom's joining us via Zoom this morning. You look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Yeah, well, it's you have a Cracker Jack staff over there. Casey sent me a reminder that we have the interview today at 4:30 a.m.
It's better than nothing.
He knows I was sitting there waiting for confirmation in the middle of the night here in L.A.
I imagine you sitting like in a big lounge chair with a little glass of scotch and just waiting, just anticipating the moment at which you get to talk to us.
Stroking my cat. When will they call?
Like Blofeld.
I talked to Tom 5 minutes ago in the other room, and I told him that I failed at my job, and then you brought it on air.
Well, see, this wouldn't be an issue if you were East Coast. But
I know. It makes me very angry. I was like, every time I come on, I'm like, well, next time when I come through, I'm coming in the studio for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And I've got to be in Nashville the night before, so it always blows it.
Well, the draw obviously was you love to surf, and that's why you ended up out there.
Yeah, I'm big into surfing. I love yoga. I'm doing the 1970s version of California.
Yeah, exactly. The endless
everybody
summer.
everybody else has moved on. I'm walking around with my chest hair out, gold chains just tangled in my spooky cobweb body hair.
It's funny you mentioned that because there's a commercial with Mark Spitz on now. It's for some sort of colonoscopy in a box or something like that. But Mark Spitz was like that, exactly what you just the matted chest hair and the medallions.
There's a line in the song Macho Man from the classic Village People,
right?
Where he goes, "You see all this hair on my chest?" I'm like, wow, man, that was really that was it.
That's over now.
Thing. There was definitely
people were turned on by that, I guess.
So Tom, you're gonna be at the Keswick on Saturday, and I feel like you're almost exclusively when you come to this area, almost exclusively you play the Keswick Theater, and I'm not sure if that is your choice, management, or but I just love
a great theater.
It's a great theater.
So
It's
good.
a great little town and everything like that. So
town.
do you inform your booking manager where you want to play?
Yeah, it's kind of like a back and forth conversation, but I do love that place, and they kind of cultivated me coming up, and the real reason I wanted to go back, especially this time, was the Keswick was the last show I did before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
That was, I remember I was in the lobby, I was signing books. At the end of my shows, I sign books and meet the people. And I was out there and people were like, should we shake hands? Is this okay? And everybody was all kind of screwy. And then I got on the plane the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the plane and I'm like, wow, this is getting weird. I wonder if I'm going to be doing stand-up next week. And Paula Poundstone, the great comedian Paula Poundstone, comes onto the plane and she sees me and she just leans in and goes, "We're effed."
No, it's funny you say that because that's happening a lot. This Friday, I'm hosting a charity event for the Morse Animal Refuge here in Philadelphia. It was the last event that night, a big gala. I remember everyone had that same sort of, what's going on here? What's going on? Things are going on. I lost an iPad that night, so I remember, the whole thing. And this Friday, it's like, the sense is we're picking up where we left off because it's the first event back of that nature, which is kind of, it feels right.
Yeah, it does. And it feels like a milestone for sure. I'm a little concerned. I thought you said I lost my eye patch.
It turned out I realized I have a functional second eye. And why have I been wearing this?
People say the pandemic's bad, but I was able to use both eyes for the first time.
It's a joy.
Oh, man.
But the theater thing.
Yeah, but I'm really psyched for sure. And it's there's only some tickets left. There's not. I came on because I really want to sell the place out. I just want it to be like this triumphant kind of like return.
Well, you're a dear friend of the show, so we please help Tom realize his goal. And if honestly, you're so good at what you do, and I think over this period, which no one would want to say, hey, I hope we have a pandemic, but I think what you do, how you've done it, the way you've approached thematically your shows, I think it's meant a lot to people. So I'm sure you've got. People will need to seize upon this opportunity to see you live after all this time.
Thank you. It is funny that now that I've been out for a bit, and you do see all the people. When like I said, I sign books at the end of every show, and I get to see all these people that have been like they travel. I used to just kind of skip out the back.
Right
now, you're actually sitting and signing books, and people come up and you forget, like, oh, we traveled and we stayed in a hotel and we came from 6 hours, or we flew in from Toronto. And the thing I keep hearing is that my Netflix special, You're Doing Great, was like therapy for people during the pandemic. Like, because it was kind of upbeat. It was very optimistic. Like, you're doing great. We're going to get through this. And even the book was You're Doing Great and even reasons to stay alive and other reasons to stay alive. And I was just writing it, but I didn't realize it was like became like a self-help book.
Well,
and a self-help special.
It's brilliant, and there's sometimes it's weird when you experience like a blowback from a desire to feel good and see the glasses half full. It's how we survive as a species. And Preston was just talking about, we had a segment about long despair and all of the people who are just in the throes of dealing with all this stuff. That's the service you provide. It is a release. A comedy has always helped me throughout my life, whether I was watching Bugs Bunny cartoons or whatever, going through a bad time. It does heal, and so it's got to be very good for you to see those people smiling and reacting to you that way.
100%, and it's I named the tour the tour that I'm on, the Family Reunion Tour, and I really feel like it's the family that I want to be with when I'm on the road and see all of the people. I literally started saying the other night on stage, I was like, remember back in the pandemic when they said we couldn't hang out with our families? They said we actually couldn't see our families for like a year. Wow, those were the good old days.
So I think we may have discussed this before, but if not, your stand-up is huge on TikTok right now. And so I'm wondering if that has ended up, as far as your audience is concerned, is your audience trending younger these days as a result?
It's interesting. There are younger people showing up, which is very cool. It's like, because their parents already know me, and now the young people know me. And also when I was doing the NPR show, when I was doing Live from Here, which was the Perry Home thing, that was another thing that like the whole family could listen to. So the coolest thing is when people come up and it's like the mom and the dad and like two 15-year-olds, and it's like, it's very cool. Casey, actually, you tipped me off on the TikTok trend that was happening for a while.
Yeah, you're talking about like growing people, and I mean,
you'd see it constantly on the stream. You still do, yeah.
I had this line. I made my own people. Have you ever made your own people? I've made my own people, and I'm their leader. And all of these moms started taking it and lip syncing it, and like showing their kids like doing like picking their nose or scratching their ass, and they're like, "Have you made your own people?" I have, and it became this trend. I was like, the joy of being able to tell my 16-year-old daughter that I was a trend on TikTok.
Top that.
Yeah. Tom, she was so angry.
We're all kind of students of comedy and fans of comedy, and I love, just like everybody else in the room, the Netflix special was therapeutic and funny. But when you watch something at home, you usually like kind of chuckle to yourself a little bit, maybe laugh if you're watching with somebody, but there's not like the double over laughter that you get at a live experience. And so I love going to clubs. I love going to like the Keswick and seeing comedy shows there. I've seen, I saw Saget there. I saw Mike Birbiglia. So I'm curious as to like when you perform live, getting that type of reaction versus getting the, hey, that made me laugh type of thing, like actually seeing people laugh. You know the difference that I'm trying to explain?
Yeah, no, it's a huge thing. I was talking about this the other day, that I feel like we need to have a return of comedies, film.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, they were throwing so much comedy at us, like A comedies, B list, C list. They were just showing Ernest Goes to Camp and Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, they just kept throwing comedies at us, and a lot of them were terrible. But we all went to the movie theater and sat there and watched. And when there's this weird thing with human beings and this energy that connects us. And when you're in a theater and you hear someone else laugh, and then you laugh, and then it connects to the other person, and it's contagious.
It's communal. Yeah, it's great.
It really catches. When I do shows, I do like these corporate shows sometimes, with a company like Microsoft will hire me to go do their thing. And the thing that they always screw up, which I literally have in my contract, is no dance floor. Like you have to have people starting at the stage. They used to put like a big dance floor, and just that gap, between me and the audience. Like if you take 10 feet, you've killed it. You've killed the electricity chain.
Right.
So but if you have the people up to the stage, that laugh, my energy will connect to those people, which will spread through the theater.
Yeah. Hey, do you pick up on distinct laughers in the crowd? Because some people really stand out with their laugh. And if so, do you kind of target them if you can?
Yeah, well, I don't target them, but it's definitely conscious. And the thing that I have to do is remind myself that just accept it as a real laugh.
Okay.
Because when I was starting and I would hear someone like, the insecurity was they're fake laughing.
Right, right.
They're mocking me. And then I would attack them, and everyone in the audience is like, what are you doing that for? He likes the show the best. And I'm like, he's not real.
There are some people that have that ha 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 like cartoon, like it's written out
As
ha
if-
ha ha.
like the
laughter.
Frankenstein monster has learned to laugh.
Exactly. But that's how they laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to like say something just to get it off my chest. Like, something like, I don't know. Thanks for bringing thanks for bringing your pet seal or whatever.
I wonder what percentage of your audience now too, because you've got. You've built obviously the podcast and your various shows and all the things you're involved with. Have you ever done sort of a casual breakdown of who's there and what they're there? What was their entree to getting into Tom Papa?
I know. I'm always so curious about it, but it's weird to just like stop in the middle of a comedy show and be like, okay, we're going to take a little survey now. Who here drove more than 2 hours? More than 2 hours? Where did you? Because it really is it is a mystery, and I kind of like that it is a mystery.
Right.
But there's times when I'll go play like a performing arts center, and I know these people are like parents, they've got families and stuff, and I know they're not on TikTok. I know they're not even on Twitter.
Right.
And I'm like, and I've been tweeting about my show all week. I'm like, how did you find out that I was here if you're not on Twitter?
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys don't use Instagram? Where did you come from? I don't know. I think it's just a combination of everything, I guess, over the years.
Well, it's almost like we've been digital, but we re-embrace some analog technology. We remember that, yes, the word used to get out, regardless of social media.
Yes.
And so that is something that is every bit as important. I mean, we here with terrestrial radio, which is still, the big mofo, it's still...
Yeah.
It still has something that connects in a very soundtrack of your life kind of way, and your podcast and your shows, they all have a regular radio feel to it. You don't want to get
it's that sense of community,
right?
It's that thing of like we belong to something. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to know that we belong to something, and I think that's what's lost in some markets when they don't have really strong local radio. It's such a shame because you look forward to like, oh, the band is coming to our town.
Yeah.
Oh, we're celebrating this thing this week. We're getting together and looking for his eye patch.
Why was I even wearing that? But you're right. And then when a band would come to town and they were playing your city and they would mention the last town, I was like, oh, them. like an old girlfriend, because
boo.
Only him, boo. Do you remember a time when? I mean, I know we've mentioned the George Carlin picture behind you, and I know he's very important, to you. Do you remember a time as an audience member where you had that gasping, doubled over moment where you were responding to a comedian on stage?
You mean in the past? Like
for your entire life.
Yeah,
I'll give you a good broad time frame.
Comedy's such a funny thing that like you could just be watching a bunch of people, especially like on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch different people at different times, and you're just like you said, like, oh, that's funny, you just kind of chuckle. And I watched John Panette a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You remember John Panette?
Oh, yeah.
Man, he just hooked me. And I'm alone in my room, just literally, he got me. And every line was making me laugh harder, and I was trying not to laugh so I could hear the next line. And I was like, oh man, this is such a beautiful thing. This guy just up there yelling about corn dogs. But I always tend to, I like stuff like Carlin, and I love like stuff that gets has a little meaning to it, but I also love, that was the thing I liked about Carlin, was that he also combined it with being very silly.
Yeah.
Like in Carnegie Hall, like he would be talking about something heavy and political, and all of a sudden he's pretending he's a crab walking across the stage.
That's great.
I'm always attracted to silly because I have a very low IQ.
Robert Klein was I remember seeing Robert Klein when I was in college, and that was it, what you just described. There was, he didn't dismiss that part of the audience that would respond well to that, as because I'm sure you design your act in a way to hit different group. You want to hit the largest group, but you also want to have people go, that was for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really plan it. You just gotta kind of do what you think is funny.
Right.
You just got to do, like, if it makes you laugh, and then all of a sudden it hits with a couple people, and you can't really plan out, like, I want to try and get this group, because like you said, I don't even know who's out there.
Right.
I don't know who's in the audience. It could just be,
Shriners.
Or all stoners. I have no idea.
Do you still pop into the clubs in LA when you're working on material and stuff? And how often?
Yeah. I'm going to the Comedy Store tonight. That's where I've been going mostly, is Comedy Store in Largo.
I'm so jealous of New Yorkers and LA people, because you just go to a club on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and it's like, it's Tom Papa.
A marquee name.
10 marquee names in one night. That's just, to me, it's mind-blowing.
It is pretty. I know they always, the Comedy Store always takes a picture of the lineup and posts it, and all the comments are like kids from Kansas, like, God, what's wrong with me? Why do I live here?
Well, we do have our moments.
Be in LA.
You can go into a restaurant here on any given night and see Jervis from the first season of Survivor.
Yeah.
Ooh, no way. See, you really, it's bad enough I can't be in the studio with you. Now you got to throw that at me.
So I'm looking at some of the guests that you've had on your podcast, and I wanted to ask about, because growing up, I watched short attention span theater, the half-hour comedy hour. I loved all of that stuff. And so you would see just snippets of all these comedians, and Judy Gold was one of them. Yeah. And is she known as the Holla Queen?
The Holla Queen?
Or is that just because it's on the Breaking Bread podcast?
Holla. Yeah. Oh, man. I thought for a minute I thought you were making some Holocaust joke.
No. Oh, God, no.
Listen, people, Casey's Holocaust material is amazing.
Oh, my God.
And you think, this is just going to go south, but the way he finesses it.
When he sent me that text at 4:30 this morning, he was like, wait till you see the Holocaust joke I've got for you today. No, yes, challah, the bread challah.
Yeah.
Yes, Judy Gold is amazing making challah bread. I had no idea. I love Judy to death. She's one of my favorites. She's such a force. I put her in my live shows in New York, and I came on. She came on to the Breaking Bread podcast, and her background that she put for Zoom was one giant piece of challah that she had made.
So talking about that time in my life when I watched a lot of short attention span theaters, she had a punchline that, like, what was this, like 1989? How many years later? 32 years later, I still remember the punchline, and it was silly. She was talking about getting changed in a dressing room, and the lady opens up the curtain, and she says, I don't need your help. Like, I'm naked with a belt on. And I don't know why that punchline sticks out to me so much. And I think it's because it didn't dawn on me that, like, I think she might have been trying to steal a belt. Otherwise, why would you be naked with a belt on? And I don't know, but I loved that time in my life when I was just discovering these comedians.
The Judy Gold age.
It was Judy. But listen, it was Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
He had a big thing about wiener dogs back then. I remember that because
it sounds like you were going through puberty.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like between Judy Gold naked in a dressing room and Norm Macdonald going
wiener
with his wiener. It sounds to me, Casey, like you were becoming a man.
I was.
You were becoming a man.
I'm still working on it, Tom.
And now he gets in touch with you at 4:30 in the morning. It's all good. So is this an extended tour that you're going to be doing, or?
I'm on tour pretty heavily through through September, and then in September I shoot my next Netflix specials.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all building up to that.
Tom, I wanted to touch on the bread for a moment because we wouldn't be talking to you.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit of sourdough bread. Have you ever addressed the sourdough bowl concept and how you feel on that? It seems like a kind of a big waste. I like sourdough bowls, but it would seem like kind of a waste of all that bread.
Yeah, I only like it if when I'm in, because a lot of places those are in theme parks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I only like the sourdough bowls if I see the person eating the bowl when they're done with the chowder.
There you go.
I think
Like
that's.
if I look over and saw you gnawing at it, I would be happy. If someone just uses it as a bowl, I'm very offended.
Why not a cup? Why not make can you make a sourdough cup? They just a little bit
tiny,
like a shot glass?
No, not a
The
shot glass.
sourdough, there's a
Walk
loaf
around with it. Just walk around town and munching on your cup.
They could make the hat where you put two of them up there. And
Two
it's
sourdoughs
that
with
come down.
tomato
Princess
soup
Leia
coming out.
ears.
So, do sourdough loaves need to be a certain size, or could they make a little one like Casey says, a cup
Muffin
size?
Casey's not wrong. Casey's
Okay.
not wrong. You could make them any size you want.
All
You
right.
can make them any size. You can make them medium size and pretend they're Judy Gold's boobs.
By the way, I want you to know I'm keeping your sourdough starter alive. It is in my refrigerator. I tend to it. It is. I have to be honest. I am terrified to make a bread because Preston had a story the other day about Robert Plant breaking the strap on Paul McCartney's classic bass, and I'm like, if I have a Tom Pappas starter dough,
It's a lot like that.
You've never tried to make a loaf?
I was just about to do it. I had during the holidays, and turns out our neighbor is a wonder sour, dough bread maker, and we happened to get a loaf, and I'm like, I can't. I don't think I'm ready.
You gotta do it, man.
I know. It's like dancing the red shoes.
I have to make a suggestion here, and Steve, you probably will disagree and cringe at this suggestion.
I love it as a child, though.
But you don't live far from the Keswick Theater. I think Tom should come over on Saturday before his show and make a dough.
Tom, if you can also bring some gardening shears, I'd like a little yard work done as well.
Yeah, I'm the Martha Stewart of comedy.
Yeah, we can make scarecrows for the holidays.
We're gonna dye some Easter eggs. Get ready early.
Yeah, you got to dive in and give it a try, Steve. You won't mess it up. It's all right, man.
Yeah, all right.
Don't be a baby. And you're only taking a tablespoon of it. You leave the rest there. It's protected.
I just know to look up at me and go, hey, why?
What are you doing?
Why are you wearing that eye patch?
If only he had two eyes, he could have made bread. He could have made bread.
All right. Well, listen, we want Tom's show to sell out. There's just a few tickets left. He's playing Saturday. The show's at 8:00.
You're going to love it.
KeswickTheater.com. Without a question, Tom is absolute one of the best, and you will have a good time.
TikTok star.
You will laugh. He's a TikTok star. Bring the kids.
Yes.
They'll love it. But tickets are on sale now. So, Tom, it is great to talk to you. And we'll see you here in the
Great
studio
to see you.
next time. All right, my man?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Love you guys.
Love you. Tom Papa, guys.
He's great.
Yep, he's the best. I talk to him all day long. There's a lot of good things coming up this weekend, entertainment-wise.
Yeah.
And also, March Madness continues, so we got a bunch going on. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. Mr. Skin is on tap to join us at 23rd Annual Anatomy Awards.
Very important.
Are out, and we will talk to him about all that and more. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The Scotch whiskey industry's highest accolade.
Oh, it's a compliment I just paid you. I didn't even know it.
Is Master of the Quaich, by the way.
You're a master of the quaich.
Master of the queef.
And your wife is a master of the queef. Yeah, I said you tongue-building ass.
He said, flavor assessment in the whiskey industry is done by smell, taste, and texture. Of all
the 3 R's.
Of all...
What?
I'm Scottish.
Of all the senses employed, smell is the most important, he says.
Absolutely.
Whiskey blenders and quality assessors rely entirely...
Stick your tongue in your nose.
So anyhow, they made an artificial tongue.
You made and look at you.
Yeah.
You're finally living the dream. You made your stupid ass tongue.
You fake tongue freak.
You frig nibbler.
Frig nibbler.
He's just making things up.
I'm making them up and they're sticking.
I love it.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
You frig nibbler.
You frig nibbler. You chowder huffer. When an angry Scotsman says it, it carries more weight.
You lollygagger.
He's a carp tickler. That's a compliment.
Here's the thing. When I make jokes about people that have disabilities, never the person with the disability gets mad at me.
Well, there you go.
Ever.
There you go.
It's always the person who knows the person with a disability. It's always the person who is like, my son. Like,
do you get extra firepower because you are a person of smaller stature?
Yes, I'm a dwarf, midget, person short stature, and I know it's my voice. You can't tell. I'm not on the radio like, oh, plus and stuff. Woohoo! Like, no, I don't sound like that. But yes, I get a little more leeway because it's really hard to get mad at the dwarf who's making jokes.
Do you ever have someone get pissed off at you and then not realize that you are, and then like you see them like.
Yeah, on the radio. Yeah, on the radio that happens because, like I said, I don't sound like. And then they come like, "How dare? What? How would you like it if you have a disability?" It's like, I can't wear adult clothes. Like I gotta pick up chicks with Bob the Builder on my T-shirt. All right, yeah. Like I did a show a few weeks ago, and there's a guy in the audience, and he was in a wheelchair. And he didn't have any legs, right? And I immediately started making fun of him. Right. And he laughing. You could tell he's laughing because the chair was moving back and forth real fast. And the audience got mad. And like one dude stood up. He's like, "Stop making fun of him. What if he gets mad at you?" And I was like, "I'll run up some stairs. I'm not worried. This guy's not gonna do. He's not a threat." So yeah, like it's always the people that don't have the ailment that I'm talking about that get mad.
Do you ever get hit up for do scripts come your way for yeah.
And
what's the most bizarre you've gotten sent your way?
Oh my god.
Because you know you had when the Hervé Villechaize story was being done, right?
Well, yeah, because that's Dinklage though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He produced it.
He's the Dinklage is the top guy. I hate Peter Dinklage. It's strictly jealousy. It has nothing to do with him as a person. He's probably a delightful human being, but he's in everything. If they made a movie and called it the Brad Williams story, it would be starring Peter Dinklage. It's madness.
What's the craziest thing you've been offered? Yeah.
Well, the craziest thing I was ever offered, and I actually did it. So this one dude wrote me and said, "Hey, I'm doing a horror film, and I need you to be like a monster or whatever."
Really?
And I was like, "All right, cool." And I had to sit in the chair. They put the mold all around me. You have to sit there for however many minutes.
It's claustrophobic, right?
Yeah, so the mold sets. It's really kind of scary. And then you do it, and then he goes, "Okay, this could be the monster mold." And I did the film. It's like some low budget independent.
Yeah.
It's nothing anyone's seen. What I didn't know is that the guy took the mold and sold it to somebody who turned me into a sex toy.
Are you kidding?
That is
There's a Brad Williams sex doll?
Yes. Well, not anymore because I sued them.
Were you flattered?
Unbelievable.
Were you slightly flattered?
Slightly flattered, but like, dude, it was freaky because someone gave me the website.
Did you get one at least before you sued him? Because you could literally go F yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. My wife could have something to do while I was gone. But yeah, like I looked at this website. It was me. It was
God,
me. And I just thought to myself, like, how weird is this going to be if someone on the street who bought this sees me walking the other way and just goes, "Whoa!" Like, and it just like has this weird reaction. I'm like, "Why are you acting like that?" He's like, I usually put my penis somewhere on you." Like that's. Like, that's great.
Was it being
madness.
marketed as Brad Williams? Or?
No,
I'm sure not. Yeah.
No, it was marketed as like a midget sex toy. Like, like this is how you could bang a dwarf. And
What
I'm
a
just
world!
Like,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm
What
just
a
like,
world.
wow. So yeah, I had to get my legal team involved in that.
Brad, what were they going for? Do you know? I'm just curious.
It was like $125. It was like an expensive sex toy.
Wow.
I once was asked to play in a charity golf tournament, and I thought, absolutely great. I'll go play in the charity golf tournament, and I do. And they had these golf carts that had the names of all the celebrities on the golf carts. So I'm walking, and it's like it's Bill Engvall was in it, and like some guy from Greece, not John Travolta. So who the hell cares? And then I see my golf cart. It says Wee Man on the golf cart.
No way.
Yeah, it says Wee Man on the golf cart. And at first I was pissed. And then the group I was playing with start walking towards me going, oh, we're so glad we got Wee Man. All our friends got lame celebrities. We got Wee Man. I'm like, oh, God, now I got it.
Yep.
Now I can't be like, you actually did get a lame celebrity. So I faked it. I faked being Wee Man because I thought, these guys are giving a lot of money to charity.
Sure.
Let's make sure they have a good time. So like I faked it. I started saying I was Wee Man. Then we get to this hole that's sponsored by Hooters, because if you play in these charity golf tournaments, there's always the holes that are sponsored by different restaurants, corporations, whatever. So the hole is sponsored by Hooters. It's a bunch of girls. They're the Hooters girls. They have the wings and beer and stuff. And we walk up, and this Hooters waitress sees me and goes, "That's not Wee Man."
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm Wee Man. Like, yeah, because now this has gone down to like 12, 14 holes. Like, I can't just suddenly turn around. So I'm like, no, what are you talking about? I'm Wee Man. And she goes, no, that's not Wee Man. I had sex with Wee Man.
Oh, God.
You are not Wee Man. And I'm like, what? So I run up to her.
Oh, my God.
I grab her by the wrist, and I kind of explain to her the situation. And I'm like, hey, I know I'm not Wee Man. These guys are doing it for charity. Think I am. The freaking charity thought I was.
Yeah.
Like, so it's on them. This is not me trying to do this. Just play along. And I peeled her off like $40 because when you give $40 to a Hooters waitress, they'll do anything. So
did she immediately, was she receptive to it, or did you have to work her?
She immediately flipped around and was like, oh, okay, totally get it. And she's like, never mind. I was wrong. Wee Man. And I thought, kudos to her.
Yeah.
Because she's, first of all, she blatantly just yelled out in front of a group of strangers, I had sex with a midget. And then a few minutes later says it to the same strangers, I had sex with a midget and forgot which midget it was. So that's kudos to her.
Yeah, that's worth $40.
That's worth $40 just for that moment. But then,
oh my God,
here's the best part.
All right,
it's not done. Here's the best part. I like, so now the problem is solved, and now the guys are like all teeing off, and I go to the back and I kind of go to her and go, hey, so you had sex with Wee Man? And she goes, yeah, I had sex with Wee Man. And she goes, he came in the restaurant, he chatted me up, and it was good. I recognized him, and then we had a little fun. And then she goes, here, I'll show you a picture. And she busts out the picture, and she shows me the picture, and I look at the picture, and I go, that's my dwarf friend Sean.
Oh, yes! That's not Wee Man.
That's not
She
Wee
did
Man.
not have sex with Wee Man. She had sex with Sean.
I like Kevin Costner, so I'm sticking to it. You know what he's doing? He does the voice of the dog in The Art of Racing in the Rain, that new movie coming out.
The Art of Racing in the Rain. What's that about?
So it's one of these endless series of stories like a dog's purpose of dogs. I'm a sucker for all of them, but this is another. You're hearing the dog's thoughts. Right. And Milo Ventimiglia, and who is the girl from Mean Girls? I know who you're talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I love her to death.
Amanda Seyfried. Yeah. And so it's actually my wife's favorite book, but I kept seeing the commercial. I'm like, I know that voice. It's Kevin Costner.
Cool.
I would love to see what they're actually thinking.
Why don't you lick her butt? Go ahead.
Never mind.
No, you'd love to see what? It's about the dog thing?
Yeah.
All right, what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's the story of a dog and his thoughts.
Lick her butt. Go ahead, lick it. You love it.
I lick mine. I love that.
Hey, where do you want to go for dinner, buddy? Doesn't matter. I eat frozen turds. So when are you going to lick her ass?
Get off that!
Lick her butt already.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
I love you, man. I know you're getting up there in years. Yeah. Did you lick her butt yet? Because that's really a lot of what dogs think about.
That's what they do. They love it. Yeah.
Hey, I just ate some tampons.
Oh, my God. Dude, we eventually...
I know.
It's finally stopped in our house. We finally got a trash can with a little closing lid on the top of it.
Right. They're predators.
For the bathroom.
If they're going to rip a rabbit to pieces in your yard,
yeah, exactly.
A tampon's like a buffet.
Oh, my cats can get into those trash cans.
Oh, really?
I have to put the heavy tissue box holder on top of the trash can with the lid.
No kidding. Okay.
Pets are so fun and
Aren't
cute.
Aren't they adorable?
They're eating your tampons.
Yeah, they rip animals apart in the backyard.
Buddy, is your paw hurt? Yeah, it doesn't feel too good. Did you lick her butt yet?
I have a question for you, Steve.
Lay it on me.
Should I get into the Bachelorette stuff here in a little bit, or we can?
We did it as a separate segment.
We can parse it out here if you want. All right, so Jed, pop the question.
All right.
We got the clip here.
Now, this is the dummy who is a up and coming musician, and to this point, the only thing he's sold is a dog food jingle.
Hey, that's an accomplishment. That's
it's not even a good dog food jingle.
I would love to see throughout the series when he's talking to the camera and saying, I'm really just looking to find someone that I can fall in love with and all this. And at the end of this going, well, I really did this for my career because I figured it would boost my visibility a little bit.
Right.
That's really what I was doing.
But if you're trying to paint yourself as sort of an emotional, in-touch singer-songwriter, and this is the way you treat this girl, it's not going to really work for you.
Oh, we have his jingle. Marissa just sent over his dog food jingle.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Rain or shine, kind of love like nothing you've seen before.
What? This is for dog food?
It's for dog food.
Okay.
And the dog is waiting.
The dog's what?
The dog's waiting for the master to come home.
Okay.
And it's a high-quality dog food.
Okay. Is the dog wearing something sexy?
Sexy, lingerie, yeah. And has a dildo in one paw.
Okay.
The dog really does deserve the best. So go pick him up some better balls.
And the thing, it's metaphor. Okay, so here's the deal. And his reason for doing the commercial is real, because this is the food that he's been eating at home himself, because the career's not going well. Man, I love this stuff. You put it on some bread, it's delicious.
And then the last birthday today, our favorite butthole, Hope Solo.
Hope Solo's butthole.
Hope Solo, the goaltender for the women's U.S. Soccer team. And then we found out there was a Twitter account called Hope Solo's Butthole because she had posted naked pictures of herself, and apparently you could see that particular part of her body, and somebody took upon that name, and we just thought it was funny.
Our favorite Twitter account. That and Bill Weston's hair.
Do you remember she had, there was some controversy of her being abusive, I think it was?
Yes, to an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
A family member too, right?
Yeah, something along those lines.
She beat the hell out of like a niece or nephew or something?
I've forgotten, but...
she was arrested in 2014, charged with 2 misdemeanor accounts of assault and in the 4th degree.
Wow. Lest I remind you that her butthole has never been arrested.
Not once.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We're going to have to arrest your butthole.
Why?
How do you cuff them?
Wait a second. I'm just collateral damage. I didn't do anything.
We're taking this butthole downtown.
Why does anybody talk to me about it?
This is not right. Get my lawyer. What, do you just expect me to pucker up and go along?
Right,
sorry, Mr. Butthole.
Oh, yeah.
Mister.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Hope Solo and her butthole.
You guys are just being wacky.
They both turned 38 today.
They're both 38. He's one of the co-creators of the band Mr. Big. He is one of the biggest, most badass guitarists in the world, in my humble opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program, Mr. Paul Gilbert. I want to explain to some people who may not know the name Paul Gilbert. You have a lot of fans. Most guitarists would know who you are.
Everybody who knows me knows me.
Yeah, exactly, right?
100% of those
But I've only had one. I was only famous for 2 weeks in 1992. So that's
So, Paul, when I do meet people and we're talking music, and I'll say, one of my favorite guitarists, this guy Paul Gilbert, if they're a guitarist, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Some people don't, and I have to explain. Okay, so, he was in this band, Mr. Big. Before that, there was this band called Racer X.
Kathy, we got our next guest ready to go,
and here to talk about the Anatomy Awards. And I want, before I bring him on, we've been talking to him for over 20 years, right? I mean, back at Y100.
Has to be.
This is the first time we've ever actually done it face-to-face via Zoom. Mr. Skin is on our show.
Hey, guys,
Mr.
how are
Skin.
you?
Good, man. Nice to see you for the first time ever.
Same here. It is true. Every time I've been on your show for, it's got to be over 20 years.
Yeah.
It's always been over the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm in Chicago. You're in Philly. We don't cross paths much. So this is the first, I've seen pictures of you, but first time I've seen you live.
I know. And we were going to try to meet up with you when we came into Chicago for our Radio Hall of Fame award ceremony, but there were too many things going on that we had commitments.
Totally understood. I just tried to see if we could get together, but understood completely. So.
Sometime we'll do it again down the road. But listen, the 23rd Anatomy Awards, it's the best film and TV nudity of last year, of 2021. Is that the calendar year?
Everything has to be within January 1st to December 31st of 2021. And let me just say, this is my 23rd annual Anatomy Awards. And this list is completely free at the front page of our website. I think there's 33 total categories. But what this has evolved into, and what I love and what I want to share with you guys is, we do best breast, best butt. We could talk about that. Cool, normal categories I've been doing for 23 years. But there's so much wild and crazy nudity from all over the world that one of the really fun things now that this, like I said, is morphed into is I get to curate, because we go through everything, because now it's so easy to find with all the different platforms, and just share with you stuff you'd be like, I can't believe that was in a movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of the categories are like that.
We've talked about a sort of an embarrassment of riches here, and that the double-edged sword that it is, that you have so much material, but your staff has to scour all this material to find it.
Yes. Yeah, it's people say to me, there's not as much nudity in movies like there was in the 80s and 90s. And I'm like, but
are you nuts?
There's so much more television nudity. I mean, one of the things I'm going to talk about today is BET Plus and All the Queen's Men. And I'm just like, it's almost like you're at a porn channel. I'm like, even BET's streaming service has ridiculous nudity. Yeah. And so we're in the golden age of celebrity nudity, no question about it. Way more places for actresses to do nude scenes than ever before. And to the people out there that say, well, how can a website that is, we have tons of free stuff, but the membership is a paid membership. They say, well, with all the free stuff out there, how do you still exist? And quite frankly, it's probably because there is so much stuff. And we have to go out and find it and centralize it, review it, talk about it, rank it, list. And, there are people that are still willing to pay for that service because there's just so much stuff you can't get to it all.
It's true. True. Yeah. Absolutely.
I can't wait till and you talk about the amount of the nudity. Like next year, I'm sure we'll be talking about things like Pam and Tommy and Righteous Gemstones and all these other.
Right.
I mean, it's just already the start of this year has been filled with so much surprising and male full frontal nudity.
Male full frontal crazy.
Let's not go into a different direction.
But I'm saying,
right.
man,
you're right, 100%. And for all the people out there, Pam and Tommy's a 2022 show, so it's not in my stuff, but I get a lot of questions about that Lily James that's playing Pam Anderson, and people are wondering, are those real or fake? And the funny thing is, she's been nude in movies, and she has like beautiful C-cup breasts. But if you're playing Pam Anderson, you had to have these bolt-on D plus breasts. So the topless scenes in that are technically non-nude because it's prosthetics.
Yeah.
But as far as achievement in special effects, there is. My wife and I are watching, and I'm saying, I know that's some sort of prosthesis, but I can't figure out where it begins and ends. Like they had full-on sex scenes with. You talk about that after factory stuff, and we couldn't figure out how they were doing that.
Of course, and it's really crazy how they do it now. Now CGI's become a whole other issue, That's not CGI. That was just really good, I guess makeup and all that. But it's really incredible. But for all the people wondering, that is the case. That was not really Lily James.
Well, let's get to some of the awards, Mr. Skin, because you said there is the categories are fascinating and amazing,
hilarious,
and
too.
hilarious.
Yep.
So
and that's why I want. And also, we try to have fun with it because we get these scenes and then. For instance, the number 2 of what I sent you, best scooter pooter.
Yes, I love it.
Now, this one blew my mind because it's Denise Goff in a movie called Monday. And actually, speaking of Pam and Tommy, Sebastian Stan is the guy she's with who plays Tommy Lee. So
yeah.
And it's about a one-night stand. And then they're having a great time. They're getting drunk and they just decide to strip naked. They're in the streets of Greece, but in like the busy city, one of the cities, and they completely strip nude, get on his scooter and drive around. Now you'd think, they do it with a green screen or something. No, they actually were driving through the streets of Greece at night, completely nude. And I couldn't believe they did it. Now they eventually got picked up by the cops, but they were the cops from the movie, not like, real
legit
police. But I've never seen that before. And as you're watching it, you see all the traffic and they're just zooming through completely nude. And it was just a wild and crazy nude scene.
They did that guerrilla style?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's like crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah.
So the distinction of the name of the award, Scooter Pooter,
yeah, I mean,
would be her
if
butt,
you're wondering,
right?
what other time where an actress drove completely naked on a scooter in a movie that year came in second place? There wasn't one, but that doesn't matter. We just wanted to celebrate that great news.
Well, I tell you, you start off with Lily Rose Depp, who's Johnny Depp's daughter, and Paradis. What is it? Vanessa Paradis, I think, is the mother.
Very good. Yes,
right.
I didn't know you'd know that. She's a French actress.
Right. And so here you have a case, and you say you're not big on nepotism, but you have a couple of situations this year where the kids of famous people are rocking it in the nude world.
Right. We like to call this nepotism. But yes,
there it is. It's the double entendre.
Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis' daughter did this movie called Wolf, which this is such a weird movie. You might remember that movie 1917, George McKay, about World War I.
Right.
Stars in it. It's about these people that are institutionalized because they think they're wild animals.
I watched it. It's sort of the epitome.
People told me it was so weird, the noises and all that.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, it's a very art house movie, and so it's not for everyone, and you're never quite sure. Again, as you said, it has what's real and what's not. I mean, it's well acted, but I was probably expecting something more Wolfman-ish, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Wolfman with Michael Landon.
Not at all.
Yeah, but it's anyway, she won best nude debut because she had never done a nude scene before, and at the hour and 21-minute mark, she's nude in the tub. So
I'm going to jump around a little bit because this is probably my favorite named category, the best back burger.
Okay, good. Thank you for bringing it up because I was on the fence whether I could talk about it on terrestrial radio.
Well, we don't have to be graphic about what we're describing here, but
yes, it's Megan Montanier in a movie called 30, or in a TV series. It's a HBO. Now, again, I want to stress this. You can see this on HBO. It's HBO España.
Yeah,
and it's a show from Spain. It's a crime mystery show, and
there's a bit of horror in it too, right?
What's that?
It's sort of a horror thing as well, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very good. And in the 6th episode, she's laying in bed, and back burger's a word I had coined, no pun intended, it's coming from 30 coins, a number of years ago. And it doesn't happen every year, so you guys should be very excited. This year there was a back burger.
I know Kathy couldn't stop talking about it.
I'm assuming this is, and I will describe this delicately. It's when you see a butt shot, but you see more than just the butt. You see what's
the meat.
Yes, you see the undercarriage as well, and that is a back burger. Okay.
Yes, so it's a rarity in R-rated or today's stuff, but it does happen, and when it does, we love to celebrate.
Let me ask you, Mr. Skin, is Sydney Sweeney on a trajectory to be one of the greats in the Mr. Skin realm, because between Euphoria and the movie she's up for, won for, The Voyeurs, she is nude a lot, is she not?
Yeah, remember Alexandra Daddario when True Detective came out, and then she was like the it girl as far as like toplessness, beautiful, natural. Well, Sydney Sweeney's kind of taken that mantle. She plays Cassie on the very popular show Euphoria. But I want to point out her Best Breasts Award, which she won, is not from Euphoria, because Euphoria didn't air in 2021.
Right.
She did a Amazon original movie called The Voyeurs. It's like a, it's like a Rear Window type thing where her and her boyfriend are spying on this other couple. Rear Window didn't have any nudity.
Right.
But it's like the director said he wanted to do like an 80s, 90s erotic thriller, which this is what it is. In the scene in question, the neighbor who they've met and gotten to know is taking nude photographs of Sydney Sweeney. And yes, she is like the new girl, very popular with older people because, and also I know like my daughters love this Euphoria, know Sydney Sweeney. She has millions of followers in social media. So she's become very popular, both as a great actress and obviously as a gorgeous actress too.
Behind you, you have the poster for Skin, your history of nudity in movies, which is a great documentary. You guys put it together. I wonder, would you ever do a retro? Because my wife and I were watching the Dino De Laurentiis King Kong, and there's a scene where, the Kong's fiddling with her top. And Fay Wray, Fay Wray, as I recall, this is like, I think prior to the Hays Commission in Hollywood.
Yes.
There were actual nude scenes in movies.
We talked about it in the documentary. It was done, it had to be done by a body double, but it was because of the swimming.
Right.
So, you had to be a professional swimmer to do the scene. But yes, there was that's what our documentary talks about. The Hays Commission in 1932 really put the kibosh on. A lot of people are amazed, and we talk about it in the documentary, that in like the teens and 1920s, there was lots of nudity.
Tons.
You would not believe. Tons.
Yeah.
And then it stopped from 1932 until Jane Mansfield and Promises in the early 60s.
Right.
All right, I wanted to ask about this and see if there has been a category in the past of this, Mr. Skin, Best BBW.
Yeah, we try. There's not, I gotta say that BBW, if you don't know what that is, it's big, beautiful women and a woman. And, the scene in question is Nzinga Amani from All the Queen's Men. And picture Lizzo doing a graphic sex scene completely naked. That's the size of like Nzinga Amani. And this show aired on the BET Plus that I was talking about earlier. And here's the thing. We love when an actress like this does a nude scene. It just doesn't happen a ton because, there are probably not many that are willing to do something to do it. But I was saying is what the big takeaway from this show, which is about a male strip club and this woman who runs it, is that BET Plus is like, picture like whatever you think is the most graphic show for nudity on TV and times it by 10.
Really?
Full frontal nudity, like if you watch the sex scene from this scene with Nzinga Amani, it's like, did I stumble on a porn site?
Yeah, the screenshot that we're looking at looks like it's straight out of a porn film.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, and this is just BET's streaming service where you pay an extra $10. And it's crazy. But yeah, the scene is definitely one you guys want to check out. It's really great.
And by the way, so and I know you have for people who have asked, and they asked often, you do have a male site that features male nudity, does the exact same thing.
And we have our male awards out too at MrMan.com, so you can check that out. But yeah, I don't waste your guys' time on that stuff.
Well, we talk about, actually, Kathy has brought up at one of the shows, and it's represented here, is Kathy, what's the
Sex Life?
Sex Life.
Oh, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah. And so explain the winner from there.
Well, first of all, our best butt is Sarah Shahi, who stars in Sex Life, which is a Netflix show about she's a 40-something woman, has it all, great marriage, kids, house in the suburbs, but she fantasizes about her wilder, crazy single days. And it's funny, okay, so she won Best Bud. We could, that's that. But talk about male nudity. In the third episode of this thing, this Adam Demos was in the shower and they showed full frontal nudity, but you guys remember John Holmes?
Yeah.
Like, let's picture John Holmes in the modern era. And
he even begged off it. He said it was a prosthesis, but it wasn't.
It had to be. We debate this at our office all the time, and we're of the opinion it was, because it's like amazing. But it's funny about this show. It had the worst reviews of any show, yet it had the most downloads of any show. What does that tell you?
It was pretty good, but it got weird. Like from that point on, it got a little strange.
Yeah, well, but they renewed it for a second season. Yet, if you go to read any review of the show, it gets ripped. So it's really funny. But nudity.
What do you think with the nudity component? What would you say is of this cluster the best film on just on a movie level?
Just enjoying the movie,
not figuring in the nudity element.
Oh, you're saying to me what
would stand as the best film regardless of the nudity of your selections
of all these? Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well.
Or do you possess the ability to
enjoy a movie?
When your whole life is just 1 minute clips, are you capable of giving this answer?
Right.
Well, let me cheat with one, because it's the winner of our best autoerotica. Is Agatha Rosell in a movie called Titane. And when you say what's the best movie, this won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival.
We've heard incredible things about it, but we hear it's like it is a trip.
So it won Best Film at the Cannes Film Festival. But let me listen to this thing, and this is why another reason you guys got to watch this clip is so it's a French horror film. As a girl, this actress she has a traumatic car accident. She survives, but they put a titanium plate in her head. But as she grows up, she notices she has an attraction to automobiles. So somehow she gets a job as one of those showgirls at an auto show.
Okay.
And she notices one of the cars is hitting on her.
Okay.
So she gets in the car late at night, completely nude, and has sex with the car. So this is why it won an award, because it's so crazy. Then they pan back, and you know how they make cars with the hydraulics like this?
Yeah.
Bouncing up and down. And it's like, it absolutely blew my mind that I had never seen someone have sex with a car. So it won our best autoerotica. But you asked, what's the best movie? This won an award at a film festival. So maybe this is
Maybe it is. Yeah. It's some crazy ass stuff.
Wow. Okay.
The list is amazing.
All right. Well, we definitely need to hear what the big award was, and would that be? Well, there's two things I want to hear about: Breast Picture and then Lifetime Skim Achievement, and then we've got to wrap up. So reveal those if you would, Mr. Skim.
Breast Picture is at Benedetta, and it's done by it's Paul Verhoeven. You guys, he's in his 80s. You remember him from Showgirls, Basic Instinct, and all I'll say is there's a lot of nuns having sex. Nude nuns with big guns should be the tagline.
Nude nuns with big guns. Paul Verhoeven also did.
It's pretty crazy, but all I have to tell you is tons of nudity. Paul Verhoeven.
Okay.
You can understand why it won Breast Picture. So, and we don't judge the quality of the movie for Breast Picture. We judge the quality. I mean, it's the quality of the nudity, not the quality of the movie.
Exactly.
Now, for Lifetime Skin Achievement Award, every year we do this. It started 23 years ago. And, it was interesting this year because Sex and the City got a reboot, right? And, they did a new Sex and the City, but without Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
So she became, people were wondering why, and where's Kim Cattrall? And she became in the news. So because of that, and because she's had an incredible career, we gave her the Lifetime Skin Achievement Award. And you forget, back in the movie Porky's, before she was famous.
Oh, yeah, man.
She was nude in Porky's, the one that screamed during sex.
She would howl.
Yeah, they called her Lassie.
She would howl, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, of all the Sex and the City girls, did the most nude scenes. She's done tons of movies, Masquerade with Rob Lowe, bunch of stuff through her career. So we celebrated her with the Lifetime Skin Achievement Award, and her nude clips from our video we made of that are really impressive, and starting back in the Porky's days, which is really cool.
She was also in a horrible movie called Turk 182. Do you remember? She was like
she naked in that?
No, she wasn't naked.
Okay.
But here's a story for you, Mr. Skin. It's apparently true, Hollywood lore. When she was playing a Vulcan in that Star Trek movie, The Undiscovered Country, she went on the set after the set was shut down one evening with her personal photographer in the Vulcan makeup and did nude shots on the bridge. And Nimoy, who was directing the film at the time, I think he was, or whatever, or maybe it was Nicholas Meyer. But anyway, regardless, found out and freaked out. But so
somewhere those exist.
Somewhere those exist. Yes.
I am on the hunt.
If there's anybody who we can trust to track those down,
it'll be you.
It's Mr. Skin. All right. So
thanks for having me. And like I said, I just scratched the surface here. We have 33 total categories to check out. So you guys got a lot of work to do. So.
And the site is free, so MrSkin.com, and it's a great repository, if you will.
Yes,
for all things new.
And that'll be a new category next year. Best repository.
Yeah, but back
if it happens, I'll have it. So.
You can't beat that. All right, thank you, Mr. Skin. We'll talk to you soon. All right, take care.
It was fun, guys. Thanks so much.
We'll see you. MrSkin.com.
Oh, make me over.
I mean, we got like books of information on these films, and that's how comprehensive he is.
Yeah, most definitely. There were some we definitely couldn't mention. They get a little bit on the graphic side, but
he's such a good point. Is that this is
where we are.
When I'm watching Pam and Tommy with my wife, and not to give too much away, but the penis stuff is crazy.
I know, and I was jumping up and down, going, "Oh my God." Oh my! I can't. Am I seeing this?
Wait, just because you see it, or is there more to it?
There's more to it.
Okay.
Trust me, there's a whole lot more to it where you're like.
And it's the actor, or are they using?
No, and
okay.
You just have to see it. You just have to see it. It'll blow you away. It'll absolutely blow you away. Are we taking a break?
Well, we have a couple of minutes. We don't have to take it. I mean, we can, or we can keep going for a couple of minutes.
You had something you wanted to bring up, didn't you? Or is it?
I had a couple different things.
Is it too jammed in here?
I don't know if we'll have enough time to really flesh out what we want to talk about. Because it has to do with Kathy's crazy eyeball.
Her stink eye?
And I don't know. Is that a quickie or is that a longer conversation?
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
I'm sure. Listen, if we make it a longer conversation, I'm sure I'm going to get terrifying phone calls that are going to scare me.
Yeah.
Or I can just tell you quickly, whatever you want.
Let's hear about your crazy eyeball thing.
All right,
What's going on here?
So for anybody who doesn't know, when you get flashes of light in your eye, that's like a huge indication that your retina is detaching and that you can go blind from it. And, I've had several doctors tell me if that ever happens, you come immediately because we can stop it from happening, but we can never bring your eyesight back if it does, once it does happen. Mm-hmm. So I started to get flashes of light in my left eye in the peripheral vision, but not when my eyes are opened, only when they're closed. And apparently that's different.
How so?
So that supposedly are, did you guys ever hear of floaters?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get those all the time. I have for a really long time. And apparently it's a version or a form of a floater. I still don't really believe it because I just want to make sure that my eyes are okay.
When people get eye surgery, like I had a preventative glaucoma laser surgery on both eyes, and that can happen.
Did you get the floaters?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So floaters are there for life. Like I've had them my entire life, and they're the exact same spot. I'd need to be staring at like something white,
right,
to really see it. But
Hi, Preston.
They're there all the time.
Yeah, and you don't always see them.
Right.
Like mine are brought on by stress. Anytime I'm in a stressful situation, I get them. And the doctor told me that's very normal and you'll see that. So, but now it's this new thing. And I left a message for him and I love him to death, but he didn't call me back. I don't know why.
Right up here, right on the...
Yeah.
We go to the same guy.
Anyway, I Googled and at first I saw, okay, well, you're going blind and you'll never see again.
Right, of course.
And then I looked a little more into it because the difference is between your eyes open and your eyes closed. My eyes are closed and it only happens when my eyes are closed. And so what I found, according to Google, is that it's a form of a floater.
Okay.
And that it's giving me, but it's like a very bright.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. And does it happen when you're trying to get to sleep?
Yes, right.
And it'll wake you back up?
So it's when I first get in bed, lay down, close my eyes to go to sleep for the night.
Is it a flash or is it like a refraction?
No, it is a flash, but it would remind you of, like, you know, if you somebody takes a picture, or if you have like a ring light and then it goes off and you still see like a little bit of the light.
Yeah.
So like that's how bright it is. It's pretty bright when you're in a dark room, you're trying to go to sleep. And then and so immediately like I'll open my eyes back up because.
You think someone's taking shots in bed?
It's just it's just instinct to open my eyes back up. Like, what the heck was that? But I mean, it happens almost every night. At least once, 1 to 3 times it'll happen.
So we originally brought this up. I suggested that Kathy, somehow her family made a deal with the devil that Kathy would get all of the illnesses for the family.
Right.
Every weird thing you could possibly have.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like in the old days they had what were called sin eaters.
Yeah.
Right. And they would take the bread off of a dead body and eat it, and it would absorb all the sins that that person had.
Well, and mind you, my parents and both of my brothers, not one of them has vision issues. Now, reading glasses, things like that as they age, which anybody would get. But I mean, I've been wearing glasses since I was in elementary school. I've always had vision issues.
I've sat across from you for years, and I watch you every day. You do this little trick with your eyes where you close one or the other, and you're seeing what's blurry.
Well, that's
you'll look through one eye and then the other eye.
That's my contact getting dry, probably.
Oh, is that what it is?
Probably,
okay.
yeah.
All right. But yeah, so you've had an eye thing that's been going on forever.
Yeah, and I won't get the laser. Don't even talk about that.
So, Kath,
not happening.
Legit question here.
Yeah.
If you were to go blind, who would you trust to dress you, to put you in the proper attire on a daily basis?
No, if that happens, I'll just never leave my house again.
Fashion consultant Gary Lauer. Wow. So, but you haven't had a chance to ask about this closed eye thing to your doctor.
No, I don't know why he's calling me back. I feel like he's not getting the message for some reason. But
they're great over there, though.
Yeah, no, they are, and they normally are, and I'm not sure. I'll call again. But
you did something to piss him off. I don't know.
But I think that I think anyway. I think that it's the difference between the eye open and the eye closed with the flash of light.
So yeah, there's a couple of texts coming in. Says I'm diabetic. I get flashes in my eyes all the time from my diabetic.
Oh, great! Now I'm
retinopathy. And you are perfectly okay, Kathy. It says
you're perfectly okay.
And then the next one, I'm sure, says I'm dying. Right?
Yeah. Another one says flashes happen to many with age as retina ages and dries. I have it and normal. But always get tested immediately, as it's also a sign of a detached retina. Which you
and you can. Fortunately, the place you go to is you could literally put the car in neutral and roll into it.
Here, somebody texted and said, my mom got her floaters surgically removed.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I don't know how that works,
I'm
but...
not doing that.
You're not doing that?
No.
They just use a melon bowler and scoop it out.
Actually, Steve, you and I went one time to a LASIK surgery.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
You watched it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it took.
They numb up your eyes. You can't feel anything.
They stick a needle in your eye and numb it up that way? How do they numb it up?
No, they spray some stuff in there to initially numb. They give you some drops that I think.
I think that's the initial numbing.
Initial numbing, and then they give you. I didn't see a needle. I don't remember a needle.
I don't remember.
But I do know they shave the top of your eyeball off a little bit.
Kathy's so in.
I know.
Dear God.
But they get to the point where they can actually touch your eyeball and you don't feel anything.
We saw a woman who had horrible eyesight.
Yeah.
She came in with horrible eyesight. 10 minutes after she was reading the eye chart, no problem. So she had laser surgery, and then. They also do the thing now where they and Nick Murphy had it where they put basically the contact in subcutaneously in your eye. Is that what they do? Is that what they did?
He said yeah.
By the way, our blind listener Tucker had texted in, Kathy, and he says flashing in your vision is often a sign of a migraine too. So do you ever associate it with a headache?
Nope, never.
Okay.
Just when I'm going to bed.
You get the
ocular migraines, which is there's
totally
zero
different.
pain, but it's just a lot of I mean, I guess you could classify it as floaters, but big floaters.
light sensitivity. Because sometimes you put on those really dark glasses.
I put them on to just sort of dim everything out.
Okay.
It doesn't distract you. It's like you have a light show going on and you're reducing it, right?
Yeah. So when it starts to come on, it just becomes so distracting, and then it sort of gets me a little bit scared.
Well, it's like when you see, like, you'll see senior citizens at weddings and stuff, and they'll have, like, they look like the Terminator. They got these big,
Yeah, the big Yoko Ono glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. We don't have any answers for you, Kath. I'm sorry. There's a few
Well, I
texts
think that's
coming
what
in,
it
but you think that's what it is?
I think so.
Do you think it might have been brought on by your menstrual cup?
Maybe. Man.
See, there might be a correlation here.
It's not working.
It's not going well. They say that it's for some people and it's not for others. I'm pretty sure I'm in the not category.
Are you going to try it again?
I
or-
did.
How many times have you tried it?
Well, I mean, I've tried it a few times. This is my second, round of attempts.
May I ask something? Because you've been told that you have a perfect vagina.
And I think that's
Does
the reason.
modern machinery incapable of making a menstrual cup so perfect that it will work?
I mean, how much detail do you guys want?
As much as the FCC will allow.
It won't open up, so you have to fold it.
Yeah.
To put it in place.
Right.
And it is supposed to pop open.
And
right, because it's rubbery, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does not pop open.
What?
I cannot get, and so it's not forming a seal, and so it's
You're
not
like
working.
a vice grip down there.
Yeah. Maybe pump some air in there or something.
If you lose the nutcracker during the holidays, you know where to. I'll tell you this. God bless you for having to handle all of that plumbing.
Yeah.
I would freak the hell out.
And mind you, there's a reason I'm trying all of this. I'm not going to discuss that with
Yeah.
you, but like there's a reason. So now it's just not working. So now I got to go back to the old crap. Like it's such a pain in the ass.
And yet you had a chorus of people telling you how it was a revelation.
And listen, my one friend who tried it around the same time as me, it's working wonderful for her. Like she loves it. She's so excited, and I'm so angry that it worked for her, not me.
Yeah, I was hoping good things for you, Kathy, but apparently that doesn't.
How about a
work.
catcher's mitt?
I always had thought that it had sounded like antiquated technology.
It did, yeah.
But apparently some people love it. So and
My
there's
dearest wife,
not
I
as much-
hope your menstrual cup is working while I fight the civil war.
not as much waste as well. So. Well, like we covered, remember they like the condoms, they made them out of wood back then.
They did.
Yeah.
So painful nailing it on, but I don't think we're ready to have children quite yet.
Oh, dear Lord.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to boil them to sanitize them each month?
Yes.
Would you guys be okay using that pot after I boiled it?
For hot dogs?
I don't know for anything.
Yes, of course
It's been
I would.
boiled.
You
Yes,
would?
it's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
These things don't permanently
I'm just asking.
destroy
Yeah.
the metal that
Kathy,
you use.
would you clean your menstrual cup while boiling lobsters?
It's like the whole peeing in the shower thing. I have no idea why some people find that as gross. Literally, soap and water is running down as you're doing that. And all of it, every tiny trace, itty bitty bit of it goes down the drain.
I mean, at some
it's
point,
okay.
they do cross over. They're going into a same water
yes.
exit strategy
Yes,
for the house.
Okay, well, with that said, are you okay with standing outside of the shower and then peeing into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
but the water's running,
the
sure.
water's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was probably in my.
I do that sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm brushing my teeth. 'Cause I don't like to brush my teeth in the shower.
Yeah.
All right.
And the TV I can't see from the toilet. So I'm
Just 1 second, Kathy. Are you okay with defecating into your hand, standing in the hallway, and lobbing it into the toilet?
Not in my hand. I use a plastic bag for that.
Kathy's pot.
It's like a game.
All you got to do is boil it afterwards. You're good to go.
By the way, anyway, if someone sees a man with silver hair on the roof of the building right now, it's Bill West.
You already canceled our meeting today, so
I think it's back on.
you're right.
We've got things to talk about.
All right.
Santa's got to go.
We better take a break. All right, we're going to come back in a moment, and some bizarre file stories are up next for you, my friend. Stay with us. Technical, awesome music. But then I try to explain your solo career as well.
Good luck.
And that's so it's hard to quantify it, I mean, because there's elements of blues and jazz and metal and all this stuff. What's a good way to describe your music?
Well, it's still evolving, and the discovery I made was that I really always wanted to be not a guitar player, but a lead singer. Because when I was a kid, those were the records I had. My parents had the Beatles records and Stones and bands that had lead vocalists. And I liked Led Zeppelin because Robert Plant had a great voice. Now, I didn't have a particularly great voice, and that didn't stop me from trying.
Right.
But it also didn't stop me from kind of, not doing as well as I would have liked to as a lead singer. So the discovery that I made on this new album, Behold Electric Guitar, is that I can actually play the vocal line on the guitar. So, take it like a really challenging vocal, like, the "Hey, Mama said the way you move," which, with my little falsetto is not so great.
Right.
But, you play it on guitar. And suddenly, those notes are there. And it's just, it's my responsibility to get them right, but at least I can hit them.
Well, I was mentioning to you the song Let That Battery Die, which is on the new album, and that is exactly what I thought. I'm like, it sounds like someone singing.
Yeah, well, that's how I wrote the tunes, was that I would have a lyric, and, the initial lyrics for that were like, what was it? My battery is low, but my mind is high. And, again, I'm squeaking it out.
Yeah.
But with the guitar, I can get a lot of control and a nice tone. And so for the first time in my life, I'm actually able to connect my inner melodic generator with an instrument that functions.
Can you give us a little of the Rocky you were playing before, the Rocky theme?
Oh, yeah. YouTube thing you mentioned is amazing. I grew up with albums, so I never expected to communicate with the world that way. And I do have to mention one. If you're in YouTube, there's one where I was doing a clinic and I had this little loop pedal, and I decided to put like the most scary, frightening shred lick that I could ever do inside the loop pedal. So I just pressed the button and it goes. Yeah. And I would pretend to play with my teeth, and then I would press that button, and the whole audience was like, "Oh my God!" and so of course he's
playing with his teeth.
Yeah, he was playing sweep picking with his teeth. How did he do that? And it was a guitar clinic, so everybody raised their hands and goes like, "How did you do that with your teeth?" And I said, "Well, it's pretty impressive to do sweep picking with your teeth, but I said it's really impressive to do it with your ass."
Oh, yes.
And then I just wiped the guitar,
That's
on
great.
my backside.
Yeah.
And I'm still a fan of the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith and the regular rock bands. And so now I can step on stage and really be the lead singer via my guitar.
Hey, I had a story that keys off of teachers, and I thought this was kind of interesting. This is out of, where is this? Somewhere in the South. I think it's in the...
is it Florida?
No, it's North Carolina. The teacher at Northeast Carolina Preparatory School in Tarboro, North Carolina, had apparently punished one of their students. By punish, I mean making them write a phrase over and over and over and over again.
A la Bart Simpson.
Because he called her ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, and she didn't like it, and so he had to write the word ma'am numerous times. His teacher asked him to write it. He told his mother that he had to return this with the parent's signature after he repeatedly called her the word despite being told not to do so.
Okay, well, if she told him not to, then...
Yeah, he completed his assignment during class hours, which made his mom worry that maybe it had interfered with some of schoolwork.
Yes.
According to the mom, Mrs. Wilson, the teacher also told the young boy that if she had something... she would have thrown it at him. I'm sorry, said to the boy. So if she would have had something, she would have thrown it at him. After the mom signed the paper, she had also had the boy write down the definition of ma'am, which is a term of respectful or polite address used for a woman, according to Oxford dictionaries. There's some people that hate being called ma'am, and
I hate it.
My wife uses ma'am as a sign of respect when she's on the phone with someone asking for help.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
It is, and especially as you start to go south, you're going to find it is a term. It is a respectful way to refer to people.
Yeah.
I would it's a weird thing, and I know, Preston, you're right. Ma'am to set someone off.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know.
always known it as a respectful way to refer to someone.
Maybe she's younger and she doesn't want to feel old.
Yeah,
or something like
that's
that.
how I see it. I see it as an older woman. So when somebody, I remember the first time somebody, he was a kid, probably a high school kid, called me ma'am, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I didn't tell him, don't call me that, but it made me feel old.
It's not.
Did he just say ma'am?
Pretty much.
Well, I never.
Was it the word that set the teacher off, or was it the fact that the kid was repeating it over and over?
I don't know.
Well, it had to be the initial thing graded on her because she asked him to stop saying it.
Yeah.
But if he's used to saying it as a sign of respect to, you know, like somebody in an authoritative manner, like then you just got to get that flag out of your butt and get over it, right, Press?
I would think so. Yeah, get the flag out of your butt.
Yeah.
Did I say that one day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hiking around the area, you know, maybe on Friday, said hello to this young feller, probably 13 or 14. How are you? How's it going? Very well, sir. I'm like,
It's a title. It's a title.
We're not this kid walking along. You know, that you come with me. I want to show other people what you just did because it was so good.
It's a title you've earned.
I earned it.
Hey, here's a text that says, women should know better than to call other women ma'am. I joke that they're traitors. And then she writes, it's well known that most women don't like it. What do you mean? How do you know that?
Because that extensive survey she took.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe amongst a handful of your friends or something. But what do you mean most women?
Yeah, but I would agree with that.
But how do you know most women?
Because anybody, I mean, just anyone that I know, it's not like I took a survey, but anyone I know would agree.
Then it's got to be everyone.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, too. I think it's, no, but I do, like you said, it's regional. Do you know what I mean? It's
I can see that.
In the South, yes, they do that. They're here, not as much.
But I've born and bred in, you know, Northeast, and ma'am to me was always a sign of respect. And I would say ma'am.
Or maybe is it an older thing? Like it, you
I don't know.
Like I don't know. I just.
You keep going back to old.
No, the standard thing would be pretty good, ma'am. Wouldst thou takest me?
But here's the deal. I think it's all about intent. And if you hear someone saying it clearly as a sign of respect, you should understand that they're just being polite.
Yes, of course. I'm not going to get mad at them, but it doesn't make me like it. It's still,
right.
I still think it's.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
One gosh darn bit. I'm looking at my activities list.
Oh, God.
No, I listen, and if it rings to your ear and you don't like it, you can simply say, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to call me ma'am, or I'll punch you in the throat."
Yeah.
I would never read it as an insulting thing. That's a way to respect.
It's your own fault for being old. Jesus Christ.
No,
What's with you in that aging thing?
It's not insulting. It's just. We just don't like it.
And that's fine. But all right, it's your personal preference.
I don't think somebody saying it to me is insulting me.
All right, but what do you want your server? What do you want your waiter or waitress to call you when they go up
Sugar
to your
teas.
Yeah.
Young lady, maybe?
Young, sorry, I'm lady.
Oh my God, she has to see my ID.
Now we're living in a fantasy.
Now you're getting into pandering territory.
I haven't been underage for 38 years.
Wait, let me tell you something that happened on Saturday. I have to tell you this. So I went out for Preston. I went out for my birthday, and we went into the bar, and they were carding everyone as we were walking in. And me, I was with Elisa. You know, we're both 40, and she goes, "Oh, let's see if we get carded." So we walk up to him, and we stand there, and he goes, "Hi." And so we were like, "Do you want to see our ID?" He goes, "Sure, if you want to hand it to me."
See, he did. I want to see what you think of this, Kathy. Kim Kardashian, Chrissy Teigen, Queer Eye's Tan France, and trans model Andreja Pajic are sporting some eye-catching new accessories. It's all in the name of Simon Huck's conceptual art experience called A Human, and it's already roiling social media. So Kim has a glowing necklace, and it looks like it's implanted in her skin.
But Preston, okay, and I wanted to ask you about this. It's clearly not an implant.
Right.
It is a flesh-colored thing made to look like an implant.
And it lights up, Kathy.
That freaks me out.
But you've got to see.
it gets worse.
Marissa, see if you can find she's on social media and there's a comment. She says it
lights
going
up
to
like
my
my
heartbeat.
heart.
And just her, and she looks like an android, dude.
To begin with,
I know
Like
it's
this,
so.
Preston.
It's such a shame.
She's got the lips like.
Yes, yeah, full on constructed duck lips, so she doesn't have to make the
She doesn't
pout
have to do duck
anymore. It
lips.
does it automatically.
Close to the beat of my heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this. I don't know. Who finds that? It's dysmorphia. We're looking at video. Look at this, Kathy. It lights up and it looks like it's under your skin.
Yeah, that's kind of.
It's kind of wild.
Well, there's a couple of different ones, Preston. So Chrissy Teigen had one. There was a disgusting one that I think it might have been the trans model had, where it looks like almost like mushrooms growing out of their neck.
Oh,
yeah.
This is just somebody who has a lot of money, so is going to pay them to do this. This isn't going to be a fashion trend.
But you can't.
I think it'd be too expensive.
And
Yeah,
exactly,
no, it's not.
How would you pay to get this put on? It's got to be a fairly
And if
elaborate
it is,
process.
it's going to be so quick.
Well, now I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, guys.
Here's our fashionista.
Well, I mean, for the people who don't have that kind of money to spend on a glow necklace, okay? And that's all that is just a stupid glow necklace. What if it was like some sort of like thing that you could insert glow necklaces into, Kathy? Right?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
So you know what a glow necklace is, obviously,
The
right?
things
Like
you crack?
glow. Yeah, the glow bracelets.
Yeah.
What if it was like just a vessel that was like decorative that you could insert the glow
And make it
necklace?
different colors?
Well,
the pitch here, though, is that it looks flesh colored. It looks like you have altered your skin.
You're saying not looking like it's implanted.
not like no, but accessorizing your glow necklace.
Like what Twiggy wore in Buck Rogers.
Here's the audio of her showing it off. Here we go.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God! Shut up!
My necklace glows like a heartbeat.
Wait.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God! My heartbeat. Wait, Steve, what are you putting in your mouth?
Trying to get something to puff. Give me something to puff out my lips.
Give him something. So wait, you need like I hear that a little bit of ass there too.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we're going to share some stories with you. Well, let's start with this one. UFC fighter Kevin Holland says he used a chokehold to subdue a suspected gunman who fired a shot into the ceiling of a Houston, Texas sushi restaurant.
Is that anything to get wound up about?
Well, Holland said that he was
It's not cooked!
having dinner on Monday night. This is raw.
This is raw.
Holland said that
Nothing here's cooked.
He was
Well, rice is cooked.
He was having dinner on Monday night at R.A. Sushi Restaurant when he heard the shot. He said, when I heard the big bang, I thought that maybe the table behind me was popping champagne because they were having a birthday party, but realized quickly that it was no champagne. When I turned around and I saw people running, glass breaking. Holland said that he saw another man trying to wrestle the gun away from the suspect, and he rushed in to help. He's a UFC fighter. Okay?
Yeah.
He said, I grabbed the gun with the guy. We faced the gun down towards the ground. And then I'm like, well, we're upstairs. This shouldn't be facing down. So we point it towards the bar and face it up in the air. He hit the gunman's wrist, and they were able to get the gun away from him. He said, I pulled him back, sat him in my lap, put him in a rear naked choke, and choked him out.
Wow.
Knocked the dude out. The 29-year-old welterweight fighter is 22-7-0 and won his most recent fight on March 5th by knockout. So he was able to use his skills in real life.
Like a Wild West sushi place.
Yeah, totally. Horrifying footage shows a moment a man's skull was fractured by a damaged sports car as he filmed it doing donuts during an illegal street race in Manhattan over the weekend.
As I look at this footage, I try to figure out what the hell this guy was thinking.
The unidentified victim was filming the driver's dangerous stunt at the intersection of Vanham and Greenwich Streets in Hudson Square after midnight on Saturday morning, when he was struck by the vehicle, which was missing a front fender and left in critical condition. Disturbing surveillance video shows a man accidentally trip and hit the ground directly in the path of the vehicle's front wheels after attempting to get a closer angle of the car and its daredevil maneuvers.
So he trips. Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to film. He was trying to get in with his camera, and he tripped and fell, and the car is moving around, in a circle, and boom, nails him.
Yeah, the angle I first saw, it looked like he was trying to lay down on the ground and get a shot up, and I'm like, why would you do that?
The vehicle, a red two-door Infiniti, then ran over the man as a group of stunned spectators watched the scene unfold. The man suffered a fractured skull, brain injury, severe trauma to the body after the impact. Police described the car as being branded with the words Tyler Speck in yellow lettering, and the driver took off. So they are still looking for this guy. So, yeah, it could, and I don't know what this guy's current condition is right now, but it was a severe injury. We're watching the video play out now. There it is. A guy falls down. He tripped over his feet and gets run over. It's messed up. Authorities on Sunday recovered a U-Haul truck that was filled with boxes of high-end sneakers, and they arrested a 26-year-old Portland man. The U-Haul was containing 1,100 pairs of new Adidas Yeezy shoes, and they were stolen. Day shift officers located the U-Haul, arrested 26-year-old Rupert Cross, and recovered the shoes, which, by the way, are estimated to be worth over $250,000.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, pricey items.
$250,000 worth of shoes. Rupert Cross has been charged with aggravated theft and possession of a stolen vehicle, and Cross, known as Cabby, already had pending cases involving prostitution and strangulation.
Did you get all the shoes, Cabby?
Where'd you get them shoes, Cabby? Firefighters joined doctors in a hospital operating room over the weekend to help the medical personnel remove a meat grinder from a person's hand.
A meat grinder.
The incident involving a meat grinder sent an individual to the hospital around 4 p.m. on Saturday. The individual was initially taken to Waterby Hospital before being transferred to Yale New Haven Hospital for the removal of the grinder.
We assume, okay, so it got caught how much of the hand?
You know what? I don't know, but it took a lot of people to get him out. So working closely with the hospital's orthopedic surgeon, officials said medical staff decided to have the fire crew help them in the operating room. Officials said firefighters and medical professionals developed a cutting operation plan, which involved 3 members of the fire department successfully removing the meat grinder. So it took all these people trying to save this guy's hand or arm, and it took a whole lot of people to just to get him out of the thing. Fire officials said quick decisions early on the process by firefighters helped ensure a successful operation with the removal. So I don't know how recovery will be for this guy. Kaylee Williams visited Magaluf on holiday 10 years ago during her time on the Spanish island.
I am Magaluf.
And while there, she had the name of a man that she met tattooed on her bum. And she said, I was over in Magaluf on holiday, and we met a group from Cardiff who were on a stag party, and they were all dressed as babies with diapers on. And he asked me if I could have his name tattooed on me. I said I would if he paid for it, and he did. He was absolutely shocked that I went through with it. That was 10 years ago now, and I would love to track him down and see what happened to him. So she's trying to find this person whose name she has tattooed on her ass, and she has no idea who he is.
That's wild. Must have been a hell of a party.
She does know his name because it's tattooed on his ass. His name was Daniel Ford, and she said, with all the horrible things that are going on in the world at the moment, I thought this would be a fun story, and it would be amazing to track him down after all these
What if
years.
she meets him and they fall in love?
It could
meant to be.
It could be a long-lost love type thing. You never know. All right, and then finally, we'll end with this story. We'll end with a good one. How about this man that was in the right place at the right time? Louisiana man jumped into action when he heard a young child call for help. A young boy had apparently fallen into alligator-infested waters. And was in immense danger. And a guy named Faniel Duplantier was watching alligators in a canal on Saturday when the incident occurred. As soon as he heard the calls for help, he knew what he had to do. He successfully pulled the 5-year-old
I'm going home
from the water. I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
Rescue crews then helped bring the child safely back across the canal. The fire department posted about it, saying that a 5-year-old boy fell into a canal while pumping station near the pumping station was rescued from the water by Daniel Duplantier, who was near the canal watching alligators when he heard the boy yelling for help. Police and EMS helped to get the boy back across the canal to safety where he was treated by EMS. Because those alligators could have thought that's food that just fell into the water and they
We're being
pounce
fed
on him.
Yeah.
They said spring is upon us and summer is near. Keep a close eye on children around waterways and swimming pools. And it's important to always be aware of where alligators live. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you right now, my friend. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't forget secret text word. We have a chance for you to win WWE 2K22. Throw down with the biggest and most realistic WWE superstars and legends, and it is available on Xbox One, Xbox X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5. It's rated T for teen, so text the word secret to 39333, and let's find out if you win in just a few minutes. We will be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Put a flashlight in your mouth. Not a flashlight, a flashlight.
Yeah, we do have those.
Stick a flashlight in your mouth.
Try that case.
What do you have? Yeah, okay.
Close to the rhythm of
Wait, this is too big. What do you think I am, a Watusi warrior here? What'd you give him?
Do you think somebody told her to say that, or is that all on her
I'm sure she's getting paid for
well,
it.
I know, but like, where they like say it's,
Sure.
it's to your heart.
Close to the rhythm.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
You look like Bill Murray in where the giant plant when he goes to the dentist. Little Shop of Horrors. You look like
Little Shop of It goes to the beat of my heartbeat. It's right under my neck and it glows and it pumps to the heart of my heart. Glow, turn on my heart light.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God!
Shut up.
Yeah. Well, this person Simon Huck is a conceptual artist, so it's.
I'm a conceptual artist, and I want your neck to glow.
Stop it. Okay. They don't see that outside the bubble.
All right,
the
so
rest of the world is like, what are you doing?
I'm looking at one. Nick pulled this up. It looks like she has feathers growing out of her chest.
Yeah, Steve, this is Chrissy Teigen.
Okay, so Nick, do you have the other ones as well?
Kind of cool.
This is no.
That's cool.
She only posted one.
I mean, it looks like studio makeup done for a movie.
Yes.
For a horror movie.
Yeah, a horror movie or some sort of
fantasy,
sci-fi
thing.
So why not be like the large singing plant from Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah. So meanwhile,
Seymour?
So Teigen, sported a featherhead breastplate, they called it, while Tan France wore a piece made to look like ruffled skin with bioreactive crystals, and Pajic wore horn-like sculpted shoulders. That's it.
Okay, so the one that looks like mushrooms growing here, if we can get that one, I think it looks kind of really like Casey. You don't like things that look like openings and circles and indentations in a body.
Wouldn't it be awesome for like the socially elite for it to become fashionable to wear like a horn out of your forehead?
Preston,
wouldn't it?
Like the
you're
Hunger
not
Games?
far.
Yeah.
Preston, the bagel thing.
Yeah.
The Japanese were doing the bagel implants on the forehead.
But I'd like to see like a rhino horn coming out of their forehead. Oh my God.
Charge.
Rhino. That's so rhino. All right, anyhow, the full exhibit of futuristic clothing-like objects inserted under the skin opens in New York City next week. The entrance fee to even see this stuff is $40 if you want to go check it out.
$40 to see these incredible expressions of self.
Ewan McGregor is in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think you should let him off with time served.
I'm giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent.
I'm finding you innocent.
I object!
There's no way that's legal.
It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep.
I got to go to sleep.
That would be...
I would watch it.
Brilliant.
I would totally
Attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah, and he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri. He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
Yeah,
with his law career,
law school,
with his,
passing the bar.
Mr. Kenobi, do you have anything to say?
John Houseman.
So anyhow, we'll see when that eventually
He gets his own
surfaces.
judge show.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This bitch still got my TV.
Give the TV back.
He's settling these small claims cases.
It's like Sam
This bitch still got my TV.
Oh my God. Oh.
I suggest you return the TV. Give me the TV.
Miley Cyrus, you know about all that went on. Yeah, she is officially living her best life after splitting with husband Liam Hemsworth. Soaking in that post-breakup glow with a potential new fling. The mother's daughter singer and the Hunger Games star called it quits on Saturday after less than 8 months of marriage and many more as a couple. The two announced that they've decided to, quote, focus on themselves and their careers in a joint statement.
The thing that is wild is, I guess about 4 months ago, she said she was bisexual, right? That she enjoyed relationships with women as well. And lo and behold, right? I'm sure you have the information there.
Well, yeah, so she is seemingly taking an on-to-the-next-level approach. As hours before the news broke, she was spotted kissing Caitlyn Carter. Carter recently ended her not-so-real marriage to reality TV star and Kardashian step-sibling Brody Jenner.
Can you imagine?
The two have been vacationing in Lake Como, Italy with Cyrus's sister and were seen packing on the PDA at the Il Sereno Hotel over the weekend, where onlookers said they were not trying to hide it at all.
Oh, this is all happening on Instagram. I've got to follow her, Preston. I'm missing so much.
Are you ready? So here is her inspirational message. She wrote.
Do we have music that would?
I think you should cue. This is inspirational, so this is...
Oh, you want the
anthem. So she wrote, don't fight evolution because...
I hear you, bro.
You will never win. Like the mountain I'm standing on top of, which was once underwater, connected with Africa. What? Change is inevitable.
This is my fight song. Take back my life.
All right, and life is a climb, but the view is great.
This is my fight song. Take back my life.
You know what? I think you need a different one. Can you read that line back to me again?
Which one?
The climb one.
Okay.
This is
Life is a climb, but the view is great.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move.
What's the name of this song?
You love that song.
I do love this song.
I think that's probably why she wrote it.
Yeah.
So
she's so smart.
Hemsworth, meanwhile, has been the only one in this love square, laying relatively low. He stepped out with his brother Chris in Byron Bay, Australia, where the two picked up some frozen yogurt. So they hit up Froyo.
Hey, you want some yogurt or something? Hey, we'll get frozen yogurt.
But he did break his silence a little bit. The 29-year-old was, like I said, was hanging out with Chris. And
man, just let me eat my yogurt.
It seems Liam isn't quite ready to jump back in, and Liam told Daily Mail Australia when asked about the split, "You don't understand what it's like. I don't want to talk about it, mate."
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he entered it. She seemed like a safe bet, Miley Cyrus, that she would be the wife he had always wanted. But no, listen, the heart wants what the heart wants, Preston. And this heart wanted another chick.
I guess so, right? It's. I was about to say it's so funny, but not funny. It's just
ha funny.
No,
like I make you laugh.
It's interesting to watch couples in an off again, on again relationship, and you and your friends who know these people know. You know.
Yes.
It's never going to work. It's never going to work. But then one of them goes, let's get married.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be serious about it. This is it. I'm diving in. And they think that is going to be the Band-Aid, that's going to be the big...
Oh yeah, the impression of commitment. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's have the trappings of commitment. Yeah. Without the commitment.
And then they don't realize after it just goes back to the same old crap, and it didn't.
And there you are eating yogurt with your brother.
Yeah, exactly.
There you are eating froyo with your brother.
It's also funny to watch the reactions because he's laying low, not saying anything, not posting anything on Instagram. Meanwhile, Miley is going nuts on Instagram.
She's finger blasting somebody in Lake Como.
And they're both, she and this Caitlyn girl are both posting a ton of hot photos of themselves. So in order for them to get validation post breakup, they need to post these superficial shots of themselves. Right. Whereas Liam is just like, I'm going to get some frozen yogurt.
And not for anything. Just, I don't know, live your life how you want to live, but maybe be a little respectful of the marriage you just had. Right? I mean, just take a little bit of a breather before you're squatting on each other's faces and pictures on Instagram.
So they were married for roughly 8 months, but they'd been together on and off for more than a decade.
Yeah, a long time.
Anyhow, some question whether their elaborate ceremony in Nihi on Sumba.
This is all made up.
Is this all? Are these real
words?
These
are pretend places.
You're a geographer.
I know places, but yeah, this one's a mystery to me.
In Nihi on Sumba.
How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
Where'd you get married? Nihi.
How do you spell Nihi?
Nihi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Ehe. That's a town one over.
No.
It's like Shelbyville and Springfield.
What?
That's how they sound in Ehe.
Oh, Nihi Sumba. It's all.
Oh.
All right. Is it an island nation?
Yeah, it's in.
It's right next to Nelby Tai Tai.
It's in Indonesia.
Oh, dear Lord. Is right next to Nihi on Sumba.
Yeah. Just south of Iso Tai Tai.
Where y'all going?
That's the main city.
Yeah.
I'm going into where you're going. Wait.
So people are wondering if their ceremony in Nihi on Sumba in June of 2018 was legally binding or not. They might not really be married. Okay. So that was a big story.
It really, it sort of rocked my world. Let me ask you this, then. You all worked in besides, did you all work in, regular restaurants?
Fast food, yeah.
For servers, is how commonplace is it to on the way from the...
No. Not the way, but we talked about this.
Maybe
on the way back.
Maybe up on the counter.
No, on the way out.
Yeah.
Because the way, the kitchen that I worked in, you'd put up, order up, you put it up on a counter.
Like there's a whole plate of fries.
And it was still in the kitchen, so it wasn't in line of sight for the customers. So they could probably grab a fry and eat one on the way out,
It was never that for me.
You never did that?
No, but I
never.
But I sucked all the nitrous out of the whipped cream.
Really?
I watched.
Dude, my waiter just took a dump on our table.
I watched one waitress. She had like 3 or 4 different whipped cream things that just was like cream juice because it had no nitrogen. What's going on here? These are all broken.
Do you remember?
Dripping out.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Casey.
That's messed up there.
Casey, at a place called the Coffee, you remember the Coffee Beanery?
Yeah!
All right, so the same thing happened. I wanted whipped cream on hot chocolate.
Oh, my God.
The guy's like, he's going through the cans. I said to him, what are the odds that 6 cans of whipped cream have no propellant in them?
And Steve, did you know that when you do nitrous, it's like sulfur hexafluoride?
Yeah, it makes your voice sound like
Back in tickets in the Bevy Long Drink Party Zone at the Wings game, which is going to be on Thursday, March 31st. And the question that we're going to go with, we found out the enormously talented Dolly Parton can crap out a song, but what can she fart out?
215-263-WMMR. That's a tough one. Let's see if you know. It was around 7 o'clock this morning that we had uttered this phrase. So what can the enormously talented Dolly Parton fart out? 215-263-WMMR. We will do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Let's see what we get today. Steve, what's up this morning?
Well, get this. Online site celebwatch.com reporting that Sarah Hyland and fiancé Wells Addams have welcomed a new nephew. Yes, a nephew into their lives.
Okay.
Hyland and Wells admit that while they're ecstatic over the birth, this nephew was completely unplanned.
Hey!
Jennifer Love Hewitt is teasing the return of her 911 character, 911 operator Maddie Kendall. In a powerful episode last season, Maddie fell down a well, but every time she called 911, she wasn't there to pick up. And finally, Dancing with the Stars pro Cheryl Burke announcing on Instagram that she has filed for divorce from husband Matthew Lawrence. Burke is taking all the blame on this one, admitting she thought Matthew was Joey. So there you go. That's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see if someone knows the answer to this question. We had said that the enormously talented Dolly Parton could crap out a song. What could she fart out? 215-263-WMMR is the number. I will go to this caller. It is Sean that we welcome to the airwaves. Hi, Sean. Good morning.
Hey, I'm sorry. Do I tip you guys?
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do. But let's get the answer first. What does Dolly Parton fart out?
Quatrain.
Quatrain. You got it, Sean. Hang on. 4-pack of tickets in the Bevy Long Drink Party Zone when the Philadelphia Wings are taking on the Buffalo Bandits. It's Thursday, March 31st. You can enjoy discount drinks, lawn games, and giveaways in the Party Zone while standing at turf level. Just feet away from the action. So tickets for the Party Zone are $27 and available only at wingslax.com. Real quick before we get to music news, a new item in the MMR Rock Shop, a T-shirt, and it's one of these last-second T-shirts. It is the I Got Scared Because Dracula T-shirt is now available. It was listener Frank that called in and mentioned that a while back, and we just loved it. I got scared.
It looks good.
Because Dracula. And is at the MMR Rock Shop, and along with a lot of other great things for you to partake upon and order and show your MMR fandom. So we would love for you to see you wearing that stuff. WMMR.com in the Rock Shop. Let's do music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
You have a massive erection.
All right, music news is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. It's your time to shine for the participants of the Special Olympics USA Games. So grab a sub on Wednesday, March 30th, and all sales are going to be donated to the games. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. We'll start with this. Greta Van Fleet has been forced to postpone more tour dates for guitarist Jake Kiska to recover from pneumonia. The band shared a joint statement saying, in part, we are disheartened to announce that these shows from March 22nd through April 2nd must be rescheduled for the health and safety of our brother Jake. We recognize how upsetting this news is and share your disappointment. So that means the shows that were in Atlantic City, they are going to have to be rescheduled. I don't know what the story is on tickets and them being redeemable. I would assume your original ticket will be redeemable. So you might want to search on details on that. The statement continued saying, while Jake has been discharged after being hospitalized for 4 days, he is still struggling with pneumonia and its symptoms. The healing process is long and slower than anticipated. Jake wanted to push through. However, doctors have advised doing so could potentially lead to further complications and a longer recovery. This is a fun story. Jack White crashed a Beck concert in Nashville, Tennessee on Monday night. Rather than coming out to sing a song with Beck, however, he pretended to be him during the show. He crashed the show with a quick performance of Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping. White said, I'd like to do one of my favorite Beck songs from the 1990s that I wrote. And then he went into a mashup of Tub Thumping and the Proclaimers' I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. Then the real Beck stood up, and apparently he comes out on stage and says, what are you doing, Jack? You asked me for some nail clippers, and I went out to my car to get them, and I come back, and you're playing my show. So they were having some fun.
That's good. I like to see that.
I think that's great. Yep.
Pearl Jam guitarist Stone Gossard says the band has already recorded a few new tracks for their next album that will be the follow-up to 2020's Gigaton. He told Consequence of Sound, we're on our way. We're making music. He also confirmed that Andrew Watt, the producer, guitarist, and songwriter who has a history with Justin Bieber and recently worked with frontman Eddie Vedder's solo album, is on board as well. He said he called Watt a total character and said that they all clicked with him immediately and started writing quickly.
He's really talented. I didn't know much about Andrew Watt before he joined Eddie Vedder for the solo tour, and he's a really impressive guitarist and producer, and I was blown away by how talented the guy is. He had a bunch of guitar solos. He contributed in their cover of Prince's Purple Rain. He really made the show a lot more fun, so it's cool to see him working with the band for the next record.
Absolutely. Let's see. Producers announced Tuesday that Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and Phineas, Reba McEntire, and Sebastian Yatra will perform this year's nominated songs at the 94th Oscars Awards. The original song nominees and performers are Be Alive from King Richard, performed by Beyonce. Dos Orgutas from Encanto. That's a song that makes me cry.
Oh, yeah, you played it for us.
Performed by Sebastian Yatra. Down to Joy from Van Morrison. That's from the movie Belfast.
Oh, it's great.
No Time to Die from No Time to Die, performed by Billie Eilish and Phineas. And Somehow You Do from Four Good Guys, performed by Reba McEntire.
I've got to pick up that Belfast soundtrack case. Is like wall-to-wall Van Morrison. It's amazing.
We mentioned this yesterday. Here are a few more details. Red Hot Chili Peppers will soon get a hometown honor when they receive their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The band famously formed while they were still at Fairfax High School, just a few streets away from where their star will be located. At that time, Anthony Kiedis, Flea were both part of the original group alongside the late Hillel Slovak and drummer Jack Irons. According to Variety, a ceremony has been set for the morning of March 31st. It kicks off with iconic funk artist George Clinton, who produced the band's 1985 Freaky Style album, or Freaky Style. And actor Woody Harrelson will be there to unveil their star as well, which is pretty cool. And then finally, in a recent interview, Gene Simmons of Kiss spoke about racism and said it has got to stop. He said that America can
I know this is going to blow your mind, but I'm anti-racism.
He said that America can get better, and it will get better. He went on to say that you need to confront racism and go after those, quote, cockroaches, as he called them. He suggested that you make their lives legally miserable. He even suggested how to do it. He said, the guy with his drunken buddies hurling racial epithets, take photos of him. This guy's name is so on and so on. He lives outside of Manchester and works in his garage. In this garage, guess what the garage is going to do? They're going to fire his ass right away because they don't want the attention of hiring a hate monger. His full interview was posted on blabbermouth.com if you would like to check that out.
I blew up on Blabbermouth.
And then finally, secret text word time, and we need to get a winner. So, Kathy, what number caller is it going to be today?
14.
What a number.
14th caller at 215-263-WMMR. As long as you know the secret text word, you will win. So give us a call and we'll get a random texter as well. We'll come back and wrap up the show when we return, so stay with us.
Because you're going to fall and smash your face into a parking block.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get to surgery. I'm a neurosurgeon.
Preston, you know that thing that you got me where you can stick your phone in the vents of your air conditioner?
Yes.
I saw somebody that has.
That's how you heat up your chicken?
No, Steve, it's even more ridiculous than that. And he listens to the show. I'm not going to out you, but he has one of these things that goes into the vent that you put in
air freshener.
No barbecue sauce or honey and mustard or something like a chicken nugget.
He has like a caddy?
Get out of here.
I swear to God.
I like that. I like that.
Because
that's great.
It's exactly what it looked like.
It's like having a Fixins bar on your dashboard.
And I made a joke about it, like, hey, I can't believe you have a barbecue sauce holder here. He goes, yeah, I found it on, it was like, ad on Instagram. I was like, that's actually what this is.
Steve, that's like getting a limited edition, like Jeep or something. This is a Roy Rogers.
Right, Roy Rogers. Look at this. This signal squirts horsey sauce. Yeah, the rear view, Preston. It's like you're milking a cow.
All right, TMZ reports that Davy Chase. Now, I looked her up, and it says she started the ring. She was Samara. She's the psycho.
Yes.
The scary girl.
The girl in the well.
And by the way, turns out she's gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
She was arrested, and she was arrested on a drug possession charge and spent some time behind bars. Yeah.
But she escaped through the television, didn't she?
She did. She managed to get out of
I
there
knew we were
through the
going that
TV.
way.
But she's had some run-ins. Last year, she was locked up after cops pulled her over for joyriding in an allegedly stolen car.
She was locked up for 7 days.
Is the phone rings after 7 days or something like that?
In 7 days. Yeah, that's when you die. You have 7 days to get your affairs in order before you're... 7 days.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. 6.5.
7 business days.
Business days? So that means I get the weekend, too?
Well, it's Monday's Labor Day, so about 8 days. All right, just stay there. I'm going to come over and kill you now.
Yeah, if you could be more specific, it might help in planning. So,
what if I go across the international date line? Let me get back to you.
Coming up soon, we'll be addressing Halloween. But
Yes.
it's a favorite costume for Halloween parties and haunted houses.
Which is the one where you go to where they have a girl who really does the full, clicking and the whole body gesticulation.
Penhurst?
No, it's there's probably one there, but there's one, maybe it's
there's one
it's the one way out where
I know
we
what
always
you're
get
talking
lost
about.
going to.
It's in Bucks County.
Yeah.
I know exactly the one you're talking
but the girl who does
Fear?
Nah.
might be
Valley of Fear.
It's out kind of in a woodsy area.
It's Grotto of Consternation is the name of it.
Hang on. Chrissy is on the line to tell us about that haunted attraction. And it is Valley of Fear, isn't it? So it's Valley of Fear?
It is Valley of Fear, and the girl who does play the one from The Ring, who was there for a long time, Liz, is just a phenomenal singer, too. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's incredibly talented.
And she was good. It says you were moving along, she'd move along, and she never sang really, but she
didn't
I'm
sing.
the chick from The Ring, and I'm coming after you.
So her name is Liz?
Yes, Liz.
All right, cool. Thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Because in 7 days
See ya.
you're through.
All right.
It's not that scary.
I know, it's not scary when you sing it.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be a little less if it were a musical?
I live in a well and my life's kind of hell and I'm coming after you.
My life's kind of hell.
I'm the chick in the well and my life's kind of hell, but I'm a coming after you in 7 days. 7 days.
In 7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Coming after you in 7 days.
Hey. The Ring, the musical.
Turn my mic on! You turned his mic off.
I didn't turn it off. I think you might have hit the button yourself there, dude.
Uh-oh.
No, there we go. I just hit that button.
All right.
Wait a second. What's going on?
Wait a
What
second.
just happened here?
Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. What? I don't have a mic.
Blink recently shared a new song called Happy Days.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, the track follows Blame It On My Youth and Generational Divide is the third offering from the trio's new LP, which is tentatively titled Bajmir. Somebody wrote, they texted this, and it says their album is Rim Job Backwards. I thought that was the name of Rim Job Backwards was the name of the album. No, Bajmir is Rim Job spelled backwards.
Oh, what? There we go. Thank you. We would not have known that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bajmir. Or you can name an album Rim Job Backwards.
Would it sound that way if you took...
I doubt it.
Reversed it. I don't think it would.
Yeah, let's all say
try
it.
it?
We could.
Yeah.
So just say clearly, say rim job.
Can you record it and play backwards or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim job.
All right.
Okay,
Let's,
so Casey will record that.
All right.
Reverse it, and we'll see what that sounds like. All right. Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim job.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir. There's a little in there, but Bajmir. Now let me say that forward.
And see if it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Chabaj mir.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that. See if it comes back as
Try that. Go here and
frame job.
We're scientists.
Frame job.
Do it again. Do it again. You can even do it better.
Frame job. Frame job.
We are ready to transmit.
Chabaj mir. Him job.
The aliens are about to transmit a message. Rimjar.
Play it again, Casey. Frame job.
Wow.
You really got that in there.
I love our
And now the envoy from Neptune is about to speak.
frame job.
Frame job.
Frame job.
Frame job.
It's
like you've just met in the jungle. Frame job.
Frame job.
That's my favorite one.
Frame job.
It's a
Frame
greeting.
job.
Green job. You like green job.
Frame.
Green job.
Frame.
why did that?
I don't know why it's stopping.
Me? Neither.
Frame job.
Rouge job. You tongue to cream butthole.
At the end, I go, frame job.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Frame
enough
job.
That's the natural gagging.
Frame job. Job. Someone wants to point out that we've won awards.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
I know.
True.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't rescind them.
Yeah.
What?
Do you get the spicy chicken at the Chick-fil-A, or do you just get the regular chicken?
I have gotten the spicy before.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like there.
Oh, dear God. I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
Are you coming out right now?
I'm coming out.
I mean, Pride Month ended
Mom,
yesterday.
can we
Did it end
talk?
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
June.
June.
All right, anyway,
Okay,
I was
well,
just joking.
I'm
Go
a
ahead.
spicy chicken guy. Oh, no.
But I just wanted to let this be known that Wendy's has,
Well, I'll always love you.
has the spicy chicken nuggets are back. So
That was, yes, I
yeah.
did see that announcement they made. So you wanted to get the word out?
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know it's usually like $6 for $1.
Yeah.
I heard.
This morning on the Preston and Steve Show, Casey Boy reveals something concerning fast food and an extended offer. We go now to Jim Iglesiewski outside of the Pentagon. Jim, did Casey in fact confirm there was an extended offer?
That's correct, Tom.
Thank you, Jim.
That's all you had to say. Yes, it's correct. It's confirmed.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like
Just a spicy chicken guy. Spicy chicken guy. Oh no! Dear God, I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know.
Okay, so I want to talk about the movies that are opening this weekend. Where'd Casey go?
Do you think he had to make a boom boom?
I'm not really sure. There's a lot of things that are off about him today. So
Is it even Casey?
It might not be Casey. Did we check?
Maybe it's
No,
the hair.
we usually take a urine specimen every morning.
So we usually have a little song that we play. Marissa, I don't know if you can find that or not. It's the 20th Century Fox with
Trust us on
with
that.
the recorder.
And Mr. Skin.
Hey, he was great too.
23rd Annual Anatomy Awards, MrSkin.com. And we learned the term back burger today, which I've never heard before.
I've heard of back bacon.
And it was an interesting term that he himself coined, a back burger. We need to do the letter of the day. So you ready for that, Case?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, Bo.
The Daily Letter.
What's the letter today?
A, as in auto.
All right, A as in no.
Auto.
Auto. A-U-T. Okay, so
Yeah.
A is our letter. A pair of lower level tickets are what we're giving away for both Roger Waters concerts, Friday, August 5th and Saturday, August 6th at the Wells Fargo Center. Roger Waters, this is not a drill tour. Tickets are on sale now for both shows via Wells Fargo Center, Philly.com. So just a couple days away from giving that to someone, hopefully you. Want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin', the official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show. Also, Acme Markets. You can get your free flu shot or COVID-19 booster at their pharmacy. Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. And finally, also brought to you by Thrill One Sports and Entertainment. Nitro Circus is coming to the Trenton Thunder Ballpark on June 26th. I love it. I've been to it 3 times. Tickets are on sale now, so get those. Tomorrow on our program, wow, actor Chris Cooper will be joining us.
He's great.
He is a fantastic actor, and his wife, Marianne Leone, is going to be joining us as well. And we'll also have former Flyer Todd Fedoruk on the program.
That's cool, too.
Yeah, so some good stuff tomorrow morning. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and strap in for MM Arch Madness with Pierre Robert. It starts at noon. We'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.